You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Because it's so fucking slow.
Breaking point has been reached.
I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Remember Steven Seagal's Blues album?
I don't think she ever got pooped on, though, did she?
You think Ozzy's dragon tattoo's better than Steve-O's back? I don't think so.
Wait, what? His friend beat him up?
Yeah, that's who beat him up.
Welcome to another special edition of Born in the 80s. I'm your host, John, joined by my co-host,
Lantz.
The Lantz.
Saturday Night Bite, too.
Saturday Night Bite. That's it, yeah.
Did I hear, I believe like 3 episodes ago on one of your Born in the 80s broadcasts.
The regular.
The reg. I heard one where you broke in the middle and said you were going to cut something out. And then you repeated something, and then you didn't actually cut anything out. You had left a large portion in the middle.
That happens.
I was laughing when I listened to that.
It's a freewheeling.
You're like, don't worry about it. We'll cut it out in the post.
Oh, yeah, no. That's oftentimes...
Never happened.
That's oftentimes a little industry joke we like to run. No, we don't cut shit out. No, I do sometimes, but oftentimes I forget because we rarely cut anything. So when I'm editing it, I usually skip around every like couple minutes because I'm not going to listen to the show a second full time if I'm not going to edit everything. Usually I write down on my notepad if there's an edit point that I have to do, and if I forget to do that, it never gets edited unless I somehow catch it.
Well, it was funny anyway.
Well, there was the Nintendo Switch episode. Was it the one where we talked about the Nintendo Switch?
It could have been.
Okay, because there was
3 or 4 episodes.
Okay, that was 2
somewhere
episodes
in the
ago.
last 3 or 2.
Oh no, that was the last episode because the one
I did listen to the last one, so it could have been that one.
Okay.
They all kind of.
I only say that because
I can't decipher between any of them.
I only say that because I distinctly remember listening back after I had published it and hearing me say, "Oh, we'll edit this out," and I didn't. I had, but I didn't save it correctly. I think so. The part that I had cut got put back in.
Okay.
It's hard with that one. I had a lot of editing in it too because we were kind of talking over the conference, and I had edited that down to like 20 or 15 minutes instead of like the whole hour it was when it was live. So,
God, could Nintendo be any more full of themselves when they fucking come out with something?
Yeah, they do the whole fucking Nintendo like dog and pony show, fucking crazy.
You remember, this all started because they started showing up at that E3. You remember like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
When that Miyamoto came out with a fucking Zelda sword.
Oh, yeah.
That was the beginning of the end.
Oh, totally.
They all cheered him for looking like a dweeb.
Oh, yeah.
They were unrepentant.
Yeah.
In looking like dweebs. And they were just like, You see? I have brought you Zelda 12. Like, applaud me, I mean, come on.
I feel like that was Twilight Princess.
I don't know what one it was. They'd already made 1 million Zelda games by then. Should it be that big of a deal? They came out with another one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Every Nintendo franchise is this now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's part 12. It's like Splatoon and
That's
part
new.
fucking 12 of Mario Party or
they got that ARMS game too. That's new, but fighting.
They just beat a dead horse like none other.
Yeah.
Not that the other companies don't do this, they do.
Yeah.
But typically they don't get to do it as much as Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's like, that's all they do.
It's, very few franchises that they have, those franchises they just get whipped. Star Fox and Donkey Kong probably the only 2 that don't get the beating that they deserve.
Yeah, but then
they have people begging for more.
Well,
Where's my new Donkey Kong, man? It's like Donkey Kong was never fucking good. That's why there's no new Donkey Kong.
Oh wow, hot take. I like the Donkey Kong. At least the
too simple.
The Wii U ones are good. I like Donkey Kong Returns and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Those are both good.
Okay,
games.
I never played those.
They're newer, but the old ones I like too.
Like Donkey Kong Country is simple. It's too simple.
It's great. It's a classic.
I wasn't that.
You don't have the nostalgia, and it's hard to go back.
No, I never connected with those though.
Neither did I really. I never had a Super Nintendo though, so I didn't really get way into that. I went from the NES to the 64 because my parents would not buy us an N60 or would not buy us a Super Nintendo because they were like, "Don't you got the NES? You're good." And I was like, "No.
You can play Ridge Racer again."
I know.
Do they even have maybe not.
What are you talking about? Me? Wait, Ridge Racer now?
Ridge Racer was on the NES. No, pole position.
Yeah,
You play pole
Rad
position.
Racer and Rad
That's what it was.
Rad Racer. No,
And you leave us alone, young man.
Yeah, I know. No, I like my NES, but the only reason we got an NES is because I bought it because my parents wouldn't buy it, but we could save up to get an NES when I was a kid. Because I think, right around 1990, when I was 10, 11, I could start saving up enough to buy a fucking cheap ass NES. My parents wouldn't buy us a video game console because they're the devil, I guess. But then they bought us an N64, and they bought us Game Boys for car trips. So I got my N64.
You know why Super Nintendo is so great? It is the most arcadey of all the systems.
Yeah.
There's no question.
It's actually pretty good because
everything is so to the point on that system. It's just turn it on, play the damn game. NES was still kind of trying to figure out some of those games. You got a Super Nintendo, they figured it out. The arcades were driving the home systems.
Yeah.
And you were just Final Fight. Or not even just the beat 'em ups, just every game. Well, Bart's Nightmare was on that system, so I can't say every game. But most games, that was the worst thing ever. I don't know if you ever played
Bart's Nightmare?
Yeah, that Simpsons game.
Well, the NES was
any Simpsons game though, and that
was good, and then the Super Nintendo was hey, these are the quality graphics of the arcade. Not they weren't, but pretty close. And so it was you could play these arcade games at home. You could play
Batman
Street Fighter
awesome.
2 at home. Yeah, the Super Nintendo Batman game is amazing.
Yeah, I liked that a lot.
Fuck, man. They had some really good shit on that system. And
Batman Returns, I think it was called. That was the one that was good.
Mm-hmm.
There's apparently an arcade Batman Forever game that's supposed to be good too.
Oh, really?
But it was only arcade, so nobody played it.
I'll have to look that up because I could just throw that in an emulator on my computer. And try
do
it
it.
out. What is it? Batman Arcade?
Batman Arcade, maybe Batman Forever, I think is considered to be a great game.
Batman Forever, but better than the movie.
Well,
everything's better than that movie. Actually, no, not everything's better than that movie.
I just saw
Batman and Robin is worse than that movie.
On IGN, they had a list of top 15 worst comic book movie villains, and they had multiple Batman fucking villains on there.
Oh yeah,
they had Mr. Freeze. They had Uma
Chill
Thurman.
Out.
She was Poison Ivy.
Yes.
They had who is Batman Forever? Tommy Lee Jones. Somehow Jim Carrey escaped the sky of IGN.
Well, I feel like Jim Carrey was crazy enough that it wasn't as bad. I think the Two-Face kind of did feel phoned in. He didn't care. I mean, I told the story on the podcast a few months ago of the Tommy Lee Jones Jim Carrey, how they didn't get along on set at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I think there was a Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones were both downtown in L.A. while they were filming, and they were out getting dinner, or he was out getting dinner. Tommy Lee Jones wasn't. Jim Carrey was like, I gotta go up to him. I want to talk to him because he doesn't like me. I know he doesn't like me. I just want to talk to him.
Okay.
And then he goes up to him and he says, I want to get the exact quote, but he says something to the tune of I don't care for the way that you are, or something like that.
Whoa.
Or I don't care for your antics, maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm going to look that up first. Tommy Lee Jones. My computer's a piece of fucking
channeling
garbage.
some Lee Marvin or something when he said
that.
Yeah.
It was
tough guy.
It was literally just
I don't care for your mannerisms, Mr. Carey. I am Two-Face. I'm a serious character.
Oh, I know, right?
I have a purple face, and I'm acting like Under Siege throughout this entire movie again. That was the other thing, too. He took his performance from Under Siege and just pasted it right onto Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever seen those two movies. So, at least, Jim Carrey kind of the same thing, too. Jim Carrey was playing Jim Carrey, so...
Jim Carrey, yeah, he wasn't
doing anything creative either. They were all shitty. Val Kilmer was being a fucking Iceman, too. Dude, everybody was acting like what they were hired to be, weren't they?
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many stories here. We'll get some more. It's loading.
I always loved Iceman's Bruce Wayne though, or Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he was a good Bruce Wayne.
I always feel like Bruce Wayne could be better served if he was a huge prick. Like, it could be funny, you know? And who better than Val Kilmer to bring that to light?
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine.
He was like legendary Hollywood asshole at that point in his life. You know what, though?
I almost have to fucking take my hat off to him. Like, what a dick he is reputed to be.
Who?
Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know.
It's like amazing what the things
There's
he did.
like stories that are just like, how is this even possible? Like, he was just like, how does he get work? He didn't after a while, because of it, I'm sure. But like, I don't know. Tommy Lee Jones, though, and him did not get along. And apparently it didn't really affect the on-set because it seemed fine. Jesus fucking Christ!
Oh, boy.
This fucking computer's a piece of fucking garbage.
All right, well,
Sorry.
maybe we'll have to
I
take
got
the
it.
cliff notes of this.
I got it.
Okay.
It just took fucking forever to load. I'm sorry. It's pissing me off because it's so fucking slow.
Breaking point has been reached.
Well, okay, so we got up here to record, and I seriously spent 20 minutes, like, with Lance sitting here waiting while the computer's like, I don't want to wake up from sleep mode. I'm just going to give you a blank screen with your mouse cursor on it, but the login doesn't ever come up, so I had to restart my computer, and then when I was plugging it in, I accidentally closed the lid too far, and it went back into sleep mode. It's just a nightmare.
Oh, my God.
Windows 10 has ruined it. But anyway, Jim Carrey, this is when he was talking about, what was on Howard Stern's show he talked about this, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Oh.
Jim Carrey appeared on Howard Stern's show for a lengthy interview. After about 55 minutes and talk turns to Carrey's time playing Riddler, Batman Forever. God, Howard Stern. Best interviews. Always has the best shit coming out of these. Like, this fucking story. All right. So Jones is less than thrilled to be sharing scenes. He wasn't shy about it. He said this to his face. This is when, so he came up to him in a restaurant and like was like, "Hey, how's it going?
Like a smooth things over.
Hard day at work, like having a nice day at night out, just saying hi, came to eat too."
This is while they have done the movie and had some awkward moments.
Yeah,
already.
I'm sure, of course.
Okay, and he's trying to be nice and trying to make things better.
Yes.
Okay.
He said, "I hate you. I really don't like you.
What the fuck?
I cannot sanction your buffoonery." Which is even better than what I came up with.
I'm glad you looked that up,
As the fake quote. It's better than the fake quote.
I cannot sanction your buffoonery.
Let's see here. Jim, apparently, he just was really calm. And, he just
What
was
a
trying...
fucking dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Lee Jones is a dickhead.
All right,
I
here we
just
go.
gotta say.
Here we go. He said... he was like, okay, so he was calm about it. He was just like, and he said he rationalized this because he thought this is just professional jealousy. Because and he's going to explain why. Because I have a feeling that he got paid.
How could he be jealous?
Because I think he got paid more than Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, because he's not 80 fucking years old.
I was really looking forward to working with Tommy because he's a fantastic actor, and he still is. I love him. I mean, he's amazing. But he was a little crusty. I think he was a little freaked out because Dumb and Dumber had come out the same weekend as Cobb.
A terrible fucking movie.
And Cobb was his
that
like
nobody wanted to watch.
Big swing for the fences. Pardon the pun. Thank you. But it didn't work out, and it freaked him out, and didn't like him that like he came out with Dumb and Dumber, which trashed it at the box office, and he'd made this fucking Ty Cobb.
Basically, he made a movie that basically took a hated MLB player and disparaged him further. And had a bunch of lies put into it. And was surprised when audiences did not respond to it.
Yeah. The night before the big scene in the Riddler's lair, they were in a restaurant, and the maitre d' said, "You're working with Tommy Lee Jones, aren't you?" I asked him, "I am." And he said, "Oh, he's in the back corner." "Oh, great. I'll go say hello." So I went up to say hi, and the blood drains from his face in such a way that I realized that I had become the face of his pain or something.
Oh, my God.
And he got kind of shaking and hugged me and said, he hugged him and said, "I hate you. I really don't like you."
Ugh.
And I was like, "Wow, what's going on, man?" He said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
Which is great.
Uh-huh.
You know what's funny about this? Tommy Lee Jones is never a leading actor. So I don't understand why he thought he was in competition with Jim Carrey, who was a leading actor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you ever see... How many Tommy Lee Jones movies are there?
I'm honestly I'm on Jim Carrey's side here because he talks about.
No, I hate to, but you know what I mean.
I hate to side with the Riddler from Batman Forever.
But what's he talking about?
Yeah,
he's like Tommy Lee Jones is a supporting actor. He's not
a damn good one.
He is
Academy Award winning,
but
actor.
he never went up against anybody at the box office.
Yeah,
he always is second fiddle to a leading guy.
Yeah, he was always the best support. I mean,
maybe he's just pissed that he has to do it to Jim Carrey all of a sudden.
I think he does. I think he's been nominated for Oscars. I think he does have a best supporting actor.
Yeah,
Oscar.
because that's what he does. But he's not a leading guy.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
like, what's a movie that he ever starred in other than Cobb that was god awful? That he, no, not really, not that I can think of.
Yeah, Jim Carrey comes out of this as a class act though, because apparently Joel Schumacher. There was rumors in Hollywood that they weren't getting along on set, and
it's funny that Tommy Jones. I'm not like so anti him. I just think it's odd that a guy who's, it's like you get a little bit of that like jealousy. I think. As he said, I think jealousy of being passed over. I think he's just passed over.
Well, I think that, and Joel Schumacher apparently called Tommy Jones a bully on set in front of everyone, like kind of called him out for it. You're a
bully. You're a big bully, Mr. Jones.
Okay. Joel Schumacher, not the most eloquent man
the EPK
in Hollywood, but I know what you mean.
Did we watch the EPK with him? The where Joel Schumacher had the like Daisy Dukes on?
No, I haven't seen that.
We were watching that.
I feel like
it's
I
like
remember this.
Behind the scenes of like one of the Batman movies where he's just like.
I think you're right. It's been years ago though. I don't remember
this. That's fantastic.
But he said, he said he did not want to work with me at the point, and I said, well, I think this part requires. The tone of this thing is kind of like childlike evil. I think you might have some trouble that. So good luck. I wish you the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like on set, it's just like, yeah, dude.
Have a little humor. You're
calm down.
Fucking acting in a cartoon movie, you dickhead. Stop being so
I'm sure he didn't even want to be there, though. I'm sure his agent was just like, this will be big. It's a Batman movie. People think of, Tommy Lee Jones is in this. That's good. And then we'll get the next thing because of it. You know what I mean, though? Like, that was the thought.
But if you bite the bullet, you got to bite the bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just show up and start dog-assing everybody.
This Batman Forever game looks terrible.
Really? Is that bad?
I don't know. It just looks weird. It's a side scroll and beat 'em up.
I might get back to you on that. There may be another Batman
There's a
game.
PlayStation version that came out and a Sega Saturn version apparently.
I think that's the right one though.
And then it was in arcades as well. So, but I don't know if it was the same. Maybe the arcade version's good.
That's what I'm saying.
And the home versions are bad.
That's what I'm saying.
That does happen where they like kind of.
I think it's one of those.
Do you know what game I recently watched someone play all of? Revolution X. Music is the weapon.
I played that at the arcade.
Adam fucking
Let's
loves
get the
that.
Aerosmith.
Yes, Adam loves that game for some reason.
What's the game? Is that the game where you shoot CDs?
You shoot CDs?
Yeah, we played that.
That game is so bad.
Your brother and I, or you and I?
Oh, I don't know, but
did you go to the arcade in town and play that?
I don't think I did.
Okay, it's your brother and I.
I've been to the arcade.
We fucking were shooting CDs at things.
I need to go back.
I don't remember.
Well, they changed the way that the price.
I don't like the.
You don't like the new pricing?
I think that it hurts the spirit. If you remember,
I like
what it was like to find quarters in your pocket and hope you have enough to get that continue, and then all of a sudden it doesn't mean anything because you just show up and pay $15. You have run into that same problem that you do when they ported to the console systems. Yeah. I like. Having the quarter, it's all part of the nostalgia. I like having the quarters and putting the quarters in. I don't like paying way. By the way, I never spent $15 in that place. How are they going to charge me $15?
I spent about that much. I think last time I was there,
I spent $6 or $7 at the most.
Well, when you think about it, and
I'm burned out.
Fair,
I do like an hour and a half. I'm I'm a little burned out. My trigger finger is tired.
To be fair to them, though, the way that the arcade we're talking about is the Madison Arcade. What's it called?
Geeks Mania.
What?
Yeah.
Is that really the name of it?
Yeah.
No, that's not the name.
It is.
Okay, well, whatever. Geeks Mania.
Well, they have those like card tournaments there, so maybe it's deserved.
True. That's true. They have like Pokemon card tournaments and stuff there. But whatever. Regardless of all that situation, they have a lot of fucking arcade games, though. I mean, holy shit!
It's
one of the best arcades.
It's so good that if you live within 100 miles of it, and
it's
you
like
love
a place
arcades,
to go.
you should go there.
Yeah.
Like, you should make a trip to Madison to do it.
Yes, be aware
it's that good.
It's
just that I just prefer one way over the other.
You prefer being able to just stop by, spend a half hour there, play a couple games, spend $5 and go.
I live near there.
I think what they're doing is it makes sense.
I have to make a huge commitment to fucking stay there.
It makes sense because I think that like they're kind of courting like the kids that like it's like, okay, we can have like a party here where everybody shows up and we hang out for like 4 hours. They really need to have alcohol, man.
Would turn that a whole new scene.
I know. Holy shit. I'd be like, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, $15, whatever. I can get drunk and play fucking Battletoads. Fucking
I know.
But
sitting there playing games with a buzz on, that's another thing.
That's
you're
true.
trying to give me ice cream. I'm going to get the hell out of here.
And then it's fun.
I want your ice cream.
And that's fun because since you don't have to pay quarters and it's just a cover charge, you can get wasted and be terrible and not waste your money. No, I know what you mean. I think it is because
I think they should
were also
have. You know what? And maybe this isn't out of line. I think that there should be a shorter pass available instead of.
They do have one.
It's
on weekends only, and it's like Saturday afternoon is like $5 or something.
And you get for the weekend or for the afternoon.
It's just for the afternoon or something. I think
they
feel
need to
like
make that a more regular thing, because then they got me back.
It's so hard though for them to like do like a time limit. You know what I mean? Like
I go like honor system. Like I would tell them.
I guess. I mean, like what are people really gonna be scamming them? Like
I wouldn't care. But maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Quarters though.
This money thing is bullshit though. Somebody said they're talking about like I'm like, you can only have $7 a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're so pathetic. You're posting on a fucking forum complaining. What do you want them to cost? Fucking zero? Like, do you realize that people need to like work and live in places and have food to be able to draw things and to write things?
Yeah.
Like, what? It was just like a bunch of. How many times do you run into that? Like, oh, I can't pay for anything. Like, do you see this in forums and stuff?
Not really.
Most
of the forums that I go onto, people complain about people not paying for shit. And,
I like those forums. I need to go to those forums.
And they're just like, yeah, buy it. Like, what are you doing?
Don't be a fucking
scumbag.
Wimp. Just do it and don't complain.
Yeah.
And that was, I just thought it was silly. I ran into that recently.
Well, you could
I don't mind paying for things that are quality. Okay,
yeah.
I'll do it, but.
I really do like that place though, Madison, or
maybe it was isolated.
Geeksmania.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I think it's just the problem is now with that pay scheme, you kind of have to be like, all right, I got to play a day around this, because you can go there, hang out for a while, then leave and come back.
I get tired though.
No, I know, but I mean, like the idea was you'd have to be like, all right, let's go play in the morning for a bit, and then go out to get lunch, and then like hang out somewhere else, and then come back at like 6 o'clock and play for a couple more hours, But still. I get what you mean. They did the good thing though, because like when they had just quarters, they weren't gouging. Like machines were a quarter.
That's
know what I mean. Like it wasn't like, oh, it's $1.50 to play one Cruising World. You're like,
that's
fuck
true,
that. Like
yeah.
I'm not. This game lasts 2 minutes.
Your brother and I went there, and they had Mario Kart, fucking GP.
They have the Mario Kart.
Yeah,
that's the best. They have 2 of them.
Yeah,
that's the best fucking arcade game.
But here's the thing, though.
It's so good.
You can't control the cars.
I feel like it was all right. I played it at David Buster's.
I had such a rough time. Maybe I tried to look up online. I was like, what am I doing wrong here? I can't keep the thing straight on the road.
You can't even play Mario Kart on the Wii U.
Look, I've ironed out those. Okay, your brother was better than me. That's for sure.
Yeah.
When we did it. He seemed to get the learning curve better than I did. So I just need to like be taught a little bit about how to. I would tell you this much, and what I've accomplished in Mario Karting since I was an embarrassment in your living room.
Fair enough. You boned up.
And I got to the Mirror Cup.
Okay.
Of DS.
Wait, which one are you playing? The 7, right? The one that came on 3DS.
I have it, but I haven't played that one yet.
That is
I played a little bit, and I was like, this is amazing, but I have another game that I'm like in the middle of.
Okay, Mario Kart 8 is probably my favorite. It's like
8.
one of the best Mario. That's the one on Wii U.
Because what did I have? What's on the DS?
There's just Mario Kart DS, which is the 6th one. And then
that
Mario
one's
Kart
like
7,
half good.
That one is good.
It's half good.
I like
when
it.
you put Super Nintendo courses on there that are flat, that have no dimensions, what are you doing?
They have they have a couple of those on the Wii U, but
so
they're only
many
like 2 of them.
recycled courses.
Yeah.
It made me annoyed. At the time, I remember it being really great, though. I'll give it that.
It's my favorite.
Going
one.
back though, it was good to work on my chops, but it
7,
wasn't so good to actually
the
play.
3DS Mario Kart 7 was like my favorite until this one came out. Like, 8, yeah.
And then you have Wii U Mario Kart.
That's 8 is the Wii U one.
Oh, and I mean, that's
7
the
is
one
the
that I
3DS,
got on 3DS.
And 6 is the DS one.
I see.
Yep. Which is funny because they didn't name them, and then Mario Kart 8 came out and was like, I guess we're at 8. Like, there's
If
Double
you count
Dash.
Super Circuit, which is a pile of dog shit.
What, the first one?
No, the Super. The
Game Boy Advance one. Some
not,
people love that one.
That's not a number.
It's not a good one.
I don't care what anyone says.
Okay,
it's not
so we
a
had
number.
Mario Kart. We had the 64. We had Super Circuit, even though it's bad.
Is
Double Dash,
which was kind of good.
Yep.
I
Double
like
Dash.
Double Dash.
DS. 7 and then 8. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, straight up.
That's like counting Metroid 2. It's not Metroid 2. I'm sorry.
Wait.
It was on Game Boy 1.
Oh.
It doesn't fucking count.
Yeah, it's a different system, so it doesn't count. Yeah.
And it also, you're downgraded from 8-bit to like 4-bit or whatever fucking
it's
Game Boy.
8-bit, just without colors.
The controls were never good on that system either.
You have 2 buttons, although you only have that on the Nintendo.
You remember Mario Land? How bad that was? You couldn't even jump on the crab things.
I love that
You're
game.
like, you couldn't. It was the only Mario game.
Mario
where
goes to
the
like
jump
weird rural China in one of the levels in that, and he flies a plane.
I couldn't get the feel down though.
Oh, I understand.
The jumps just weren't as good.
Super Mario Land 2 is really good on the Game Boy. That was
That's true. 2 and 3 are good,
Mhm.
and they turned it around. They figured it out.
They figured it out.
First one was.
They got their shit together.
The first one, ironically, is like one of the highest selling games ever, though. Even though
Oh,
it's
yeah?
the shittiest game.
Well, wait.
Because like
Are you
everyone
talking
bought
about
a
Super
game.
Mario Land?
Yeah.
It came packed in. That's why.
Oh,
and they
they
count
cheated.
those. So every single... Well, the Tetris was the original pack-in, and then the second pack-in was Super Mario Land. And so my parents had bought, when they got my brother and I Game Boys, because we would go on car trips and they would want something to shut us up. Smart idea. But one of them was the Super Mario Land, one was the Tetris one. So we had one each. And that was a good console. The Game Boy has a lot of good stuff on it. But yeah, that Mario Land game is not a core Mario game. That's why it had its own. There's like Super Mario Land 2.
I was like, why would you go back to the crab things? I thought we did away with those.
I know, right? They're like, we wrote those off. We did with Goombas now and Koopas.
I would be more favorable to go back to the Shy Guys. Than
But
I
you
would
saw the new Mario game, right, on the Switch?
Yeah.
Do you see Mario in human land and not looking like a human?
What is a Mario then?
Okay, here's my fan
You
theory.
had the same idea that I did.
Here's
then.
my Mario fan theory.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
Here's my Mario fan theory. He used to look like that, but when you get transported to the kingdom, you get turned into a cartoon, and it's permanent, I guess.
What?
I mean, he gets bang Princess Peach, so there's a nice.
No, he doesn't. He gets to
That's true. He gets to
hold her
chase after.
hand. He doesn't bang
Hey, she
her.
kisses him on the cheek sometimes.
Let me tell you something about Mushroom Kingdom. There are no
Okay.
penises in the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's true. He's like, I don't got nothing. Like he just opens his
Also,
pants. There's nothing down here.
there isn't.
He's like a Ken doll.
No, that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. You're right. There's no sex in the Mushroom Kingdom.
No. As much as the most I flirted with that was Sunshine with Bowser Jr. claiming that he was an offspring of Peach and Bowser.
You know what my favorite part
which
about
was weird, to say the least.
You know what my favorite
But
part
I still
about
don't
that game?
believe him because he's a liar.
Oh, no. So that's my favorite part about that game is it's totally not explained to the last cutscene and it's just thrown off. He just told him that because
He's
he
a dick.
doesn't have a real mom or whatever. Like, she's out of the picture. So he just wanted to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
It's like a spiteful...
But, like, if you don't beat the game, you're like, wait, what? Like, did Bowser bang Peach? Like, is this what happened?
I never believed it, even if the game told me that.
Of course not. Like, no way. But the fact that, like,
I do have to say that Odyssey harkens back memories of Sonic Adventure, and it is a concern.
Hey,
like
that Sonic Adventure game was good at the time, and it's not good when you look back at
all
it.
the same locations, though. The town square, the rainforest, which was more of an Aztec type of rainforest, but it's still kind of a rainforest.
I don't think there was a like cooking land with like turnips and stuff in Sonic Adventure, but
well, no. I'm just concerned. I think Odyssey. Like, so what is he doing in New Donk Land?
New Donk City.
New Donk City.
Where?
So I'm assuming Donkey Kong's a villain here.
I would like to say this.
Right.
That if they put Donkey Kong in that game,
he has to be
wearing a suit as the mayor of New Donk City. I would be so fucking happy.
That would be kind of funny.
He's just the mayor of New Donk City. I don't know, but everything's named after Donkey Kong. People went through that trailer and you can see the streets. There's like Diddy Lane.
So Donkey Kong has turned into like a dystopian.
I know, right? So he rules the humans? Is this fucking Planet of the Apes? Is that what's going on? I don't know. And then Bowser. You saw Bowser in that trailer, right? With his pimp suit that he has. He's wearing a white suit and a top hat.
That, actually.
The trailer. He's in it for a couple seconds. I do want to give props to Nintendo because they are they're Japanese, so their culture is a little bit less like out there and zany, at least in business sense. But they put out a video on how the parental controls work on the Switch, and it actually looks really cool.
Ugh.
Because
parental controls.
I know, but for a parent.
By the way, my PS2 that I used to watch DVDs that I still use
has like a parental lock on it.
It does.
And somebody put it on there.
Guess what it is?
What?
X.
Nice.
And have to enter it every time I try to watch anything.
Oh my god! But
I'm just thankful that they picked a lock that was like as. I mean, you know what I mean? It's the one thing that they thankfully could have picked that was...
easy to remember?
It was my first guess. When I saw it pop up, I just hit the X's, and I was like, oh, good, thank God. I can actually watch a movie on this thing, because I was really kind of getting bummed out that it was going to lock me out of the stuff.
Well, it's kind of dumb, because, like...
Because what happens when you sell the system again?
I think there must be a way to unlock it, but they just didn't bother.
I could probably get around my system. I don't know.
But it's just XXXX, so it's not that bad.
No, I forget that it exists after I do it every time.
That's funny. No, but the Nintendo video for parental controls, it looks cool. It's actually an app that connects on your phone, and so it can tell you like what your kid's been playing, actually, so you can spy on your fucking kids.
Oh, God.
Okay. Oh, what are the kids going to play that's bad on the fucking Switch? Mario? No. But the idea is that you can actually tell it to turn the console off after, like, they've played for, like, 3 hours or something, so it, like, tells them, hey, you've played enough for today. You know what I mean? I don't know. But in the video... he opens up his phone, Bowser, and his fucking lock screen is Princess Peach's face. It's so creepy. So, like, he's got a picture of Princess Peach as his phone background, which I thought was, like, a really nice touch. Because, of course, Bowser would.
If your parents could, like, look at screenshots of what you were doing at the moment on the video game system.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm just imagining, like, Resident Evil 2, I just blew a monster's face off.
Yeah.
And in 1997, and my mom like looks on her non-existent smartphone, and is like,
"What the fuck?"
But I think she knew anyway that I was into demented shit. So
yeah, my parents didn't really care that much about movies or games.
They just didn't want me to like watch porno stuff. They wanted me to watch.
Yeah.
I could watch like horror movies with
just
a little
funny.
Porno or softcore. You know,
just a little boobs, boobs.
Like Friday the 13th. I was allowed, but like if you start watching like The Specialist and Stallone gets that shower scene.
Oh my god, we watched that.
I literally got in trouble over that back then.
I think you even told me that story when we watched it because we were just like,
because she was like, she didn't even recognize Stallone. It was so steamy. She was just like, what is happening in this shower?
His like toned ass for like half of the scene. Like, there's little female nudity in that scene. It's mostly
he obscures her every feature
with his butt. And you're like,
his butt.
Stallone, I understand. You're proud of your ass, but I want to see
his massive like sides. I don't even know what those muscles are called.
Obliques.
something.
Yeah, that could be it. Sure.
I've never had like a feeling like in my sides that I was like, "Ooh, feel that muscle." Like I don't know where they get them from.
Side abs. I'm going with side abs.
Side abs. Latissimus dorsi.
Wait, what?
Is
There's the
that it?
latissimus dorsi, but I like the latissimus dorsi. And that's the side muscle.
That's what, you know what? They probably gave that to me on the quiz.
I've had zero. There's been 0 point in my life where I've ever had any definition of any muscles that I've ever had. So I don't know.
It's tough, you know.
Well, yeah, because like if you're someone who wants to look cut, you have to like.
First of all, I've never wanted to look cut.
No. But if you wanted
I know what you mean.
If you wanted to, you literally have to eat a ton of shit, right? And then work out a ton. And then when you want to look cut, you have to stop eating for like a day.
And then you get a fucking hernia.
And then you look cut. But it's like, okay, yeah. Well, that's the idea, is that you have to eat a lot, but you also have to like work out if you eat a lot. And then when like they do those competitions to look like cut, they like don't drink water for like a day, so they get super veiny. And it's like, this is gross.
Yeah,
like, come on. No.
Not necessary.
Nobody wants to be that cut. It's not worth it.
I've never had any type of like muscle definition that was like, I mean, I've had like bits and pieces where you can see, obviously, I guess what you would term definition, but not anything that's like it's what you see on a magazine or a movie.
Yeah.
I've been, you know.
Well, you look at like someone like Chris Pratt, who was in like Parks and Rec, you know, is funny, goofy Andy Dwyer. And then he was in that Zero Dark 30 movie, and he got really ripped for that, you know. And then he was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's pretty cut in that. I think he sees abs at some point in that movie. But like, Lauren was like, and a lot of girls were like this. They're like, I thought he was cuter before. Like, the muscles are too much, you know. Like,
yeah,
you want to have that like good mixture of like, maybe he's a little strong.
You know what it is?
It's the dad bod. Chicks dig the dad bod.
They already were attached to what came before. And there
are chicks that dig muscles for sure.
Threatened that what he is now not as relatable as what he used to be.
Well, I could tell you that if I met a chick that was super athletic and toned, we would never get along, because she'd be like, "Oh, we can't sit around and watch fucking Netflix for 3 hours today. I got to go to the gym for 2 hours."
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, who wants to go to a gym for? I mean.
I can understand going to a gym, like, you know, 3 hours a week, maybe, you know, like a couple half hours here or there, just to stay in shape.
I'd rather just eat better than fucking do that. I get so annoyed at the smells of a gym.
Oh yeah, dude,
the disinfectant.
You're so right.
Lack thereof.
You're so fucking right. A gym is simultaneously the smell of like just subtle BO and like fucking bleach sanitizer all at once. You think that the sanitizer would get rid of the BO, but it just doesn't. You can't. Those pads on those like chairs.
Oh, and you lean back on the one thing, and you're like 8th workout, and it's already wet, and you're like, oh, what the. Oh.
The worst though is that when like you get super sweaty and you lean back on a clean one, and you just get this huge wet spot, and you're like, fuck, I gotta clean that up now.
Oh yeah, I always clean after myself.
Yeah, for sure. But like, well, I remember when I would work out.
P90X people are the ones that ruin everything.
Yeah.
So you tying up 3 machines, acting like they're Prince goddamn Fielder.
Oh, I gotta go run from one machine to the next machine to the next machine. It's like, fuck
and do
off.
3 reps, 2 reps, 3. Get out of here.
Yeah, come on. You know what I say? You gotta do, Lance. You know what I'm talking about. Rocky IV. You want to get in shape?
Get yourself.
You go out in the woods. You haul a big pile of wood. You get laughed at by somebody. No, Paulie was just with his robot lady in one of those scenes, I think, where like it cuts away or something. But like, yeah, he's like dragging a sled up a hill with some fucking wood on it, and that's the montage.
Do any number of rotator cuff tearing workouts that involve you lifting a fucking cart with your family in it up above your head, an exercise that no human should be doing.
Oh yeah, I'm sure someone like a doctor would be like, no,
People are not well accustomed to lifting things above their heads. I don't know if anybody noticed that. That's why stairs exist. I think. I don't know. It's tough.
They'd just be like, Adrian,
I know someone who's
tore my rotator cuff. I can't fight Drago. America's doomed. That would be it.
You know how fucking short he looks in that movie?
I know. It's because
they can't hide it either.
It's because
It's like they're trying to figure out, like, is Stallone... Because normal people don't know if Stallone's short or not. But Lundgren is tall.
He's so tall.
And they wanted to play up some of that stuff.
Stallone has to be short.
He's got to be like 5'10", right? He's not a tall guy.
I'm looking it up.
And I'm sure there's a lot of like kind of question marks about what his official height is.
5'10".
Yeah.
Straight on.
And Lundgren's got to be 6'4", right? 6'3"?
He's the exact same height as I am. He is 6'5".
No way.
He's a monster.
He is a monster.
I mean, when you think about that...
I respect that I could actually walk up to Dolph Lundgren and look up to a movie star actor. Mm-hmm. It's like, that'd be the one guy.
See, the thing is that you go up to Arnold and you'd be a little disappointed.
No, I totally would be.
He's what are you, 6'3"? 6'2"?
No, that's all joke. He is like...
No, what are
he's
you?
Like, oh, me? Yeah. I'm 6'3".
Yeah, you would look down. It's your
I would be looking down at my idol, and I would be like crying inside.
Mel Gibson, 5'10". Robert De Niro, 5'10".
Ugh.
All of these guys are short.
I don't want to.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, 5'10".
Him, I expect to be kind of like short, maybe.
Chuck Norris, 5'10". Everyone is 5'10", apparently. Steven Seagal, 6'4".
But his waist,
well, is also 6'4". Talia Shire.
Do you know what's the best? Do you remember Steven Seagal's blues album he came out with?
No.
You know it's actually not that bad.
Really?
That's the worst part of it. You want to just shit all over it,
and you're
and
like,
you hear it, and you're like,
some good
I could
tracks
see
here.
this being on at a restaurant or something.
Maybe it's not like incredible, but like, it's competent.
It is.
You're just like, all right,
So it's the music album by Steven Seagal, not something to. No, but yeah, most of these stars. I would never want to meet Arnold now, knowing what I know. I don't want to fucking look down at the commando, okay? Like, how could I do that? Like, what about you? Is there anybody, like, do you think that,
what?
You wouldn't want to meet any of these guys because you just tower over them?
I tower over all of them, except for Dolph Lundgren. He's the same height as me. No, I don't know. I mean,
is it different when you're super tall your whole life?
Yeah, but it's not even that. It would be more like, oh, these guys are super old. You know what I mean?
You're like hunched over.
You know what I mean? Like, it would be like...
You gotta imagine now that bad backs, too. They're probably a little shorter than what you think.
I looked up Blues Traveler for some reason because I wanted to see if he was still alive. John Popper.
He got that gastric bypass.
Did. He actually looks much better now. He's not...
He still looks gross.
Well, he's not necessarily skinny. He just looks like a regular overweight
I like his behind
man.
the music. Do you remember that? He was like talking about watching porno and beating off and how he started getting heavy chest pains while he was beating off watching a porno.
All I gotta say this though,
and he called the ambulance and they said that he had like 95% blockage or something.
Oh Jesus!
So they got that sorted out for him. Thankfully, he didn't. Blues Traveler's a terrible group, though. I got to give them that. They're very bad.
I'm not going to say that I'm in shape in any way, but I'm going to say ever since John Popper's lost the weight, I look a lot like him.
What?
Now that he's just normal big guy.
You look like normal John Popper?
I do a little bit. Like, look at this.
Let me look at this.
Look at John Popper over here. Now that he is like just normal fat guy and not like super giant. I mean, the resemblance is there a little. If I didn't have the beard.
Yeah, keep the beard.
No, I have, but the thing is, I'm the same way as him. I have the baby face. Like, I have like big cheeks, and like, if I don't have the beard, I look. I mean,
he's got like a safari hat.
Yeah.
Where's he coming with the safari hat?
You know, he probably is bald. I've got to say.
Oh yeah.
I guarantee you, he's bald. And now that I've said that, here's a picture of him with his hat off, and he is balding like shit. So that's why. Because that's why anyone wears a hat when they're old, is because they're bald.
Yeah. I actually stopped wearing. I used to wear a hat all the time.
Yeah, well, you didn't. You just liked wearing hats.
Yeah, well, but then somebody told me they thought I was bald because I wore a hat all the time, and I never wore a hat again.
What you hiding? It's like George.
Because you got a little older, and I realized that I had an advantage, and I was like, you know what? You got to make hay with what you got.
Well, to be fair though, you're tall enough that you could probably get away with it even if you had a bald
That's true.
spot. No
they
one's
wouldn't
gonna
know.
See it. until you're like laying down, or they come down the stairs and you're downstairs and like, what the fuck? I'm lucky I don't have to worry about that.
Everything I heard about was a lie.
Do you have baldness in your family?
There is like some.
What about it's your mom's side, so
yeah, but it's not like it's hard to say because my brother has a full head of hair still, and he's almost 40.
Okay,
and my mom's brother has lost quite a bit, but it's hard to say what's going on there.
Yeah,
it's like they're getting the whole gene thing.
It is, yeah,
and.
Well, the baldness
I have like nothing.
The baldness gene comes from your mother.
If I don't shower for like a week, it looks like I have something in the crown, but that's really just because I have greasy hair.
Yeah,
accumulating
and
it's
you don't
sticking
look like
together.
You're balding, so
no, I really not.
I think you'll be fine. But if you go bald when you're like 50, who the fuck cares?
No.
It's too late.
At that point, I'm. Who knows what happens? By then, I'm already losing my marbles.
I will say this though: is that you can't do
probably already losing them now.
You can't do the Michael Chiklis.
Fuck that.
No one can do that. Michael Chiklis can. You gotta do the straight up like
Scott Van Pelt ruined shaving your head for white people.
Yeah, you need to.
He was the biggest geek.
Yeah.
And the worst commentator. And
I
he
like
did it.
Scott Van Pelt.
Oh.
He's got some good biting comments. He got a little sass on there.
Yeah,
I do agree though. It's a little.
Here, look at him.
He does have a horribly misshapen head.
And maybe I should stick to the point. His head looks terrible.
That's
the point.
Yes, he looks like a weird alien.
His commentary aside, what the fuck? He's got huge shoulders, lanky ET arms.
He does kind of look like a lurch a little bit, but bald. A bald lurch.
Huge neck. Mm-hmm. Small circular face and head. Weird. I can't even make heads or tails of it.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Well, you have to go with the classic. I'm trying to think of his damn name. The actor.
And then the fact that the guy like shaves every minuscule hair on each show. I mean, come on. Who can trust a person like that? You got to go back to the bathroom with your little shaving tool every 2 minutes because you're on TV. It's creepy.
I'm trying to think of it. Well, like. Oh, what's his damn name? Why can't I can't?
I knew someone who used to actually shave their head, and no thanks. It's so much work. It's just like, and you have to get all these cuts, and then you got to get the special tools and it's just.
I'm trying to think of a famous bald. Oh, Stanley Tucci.
Oh, actors get a little different.
No, but what I'm saying is that you go with the Stanley Tucci. You know what I mean? Like the short crop sides. It looks classy when he does it. You know what I mean? Although now he's gone for the full bald head. I'm looking at it. But he does have a beard, so it's a little bit less bad. I don't know. He did go for the full bald, though. Now that I'm looking at it. Damn it. You ruined me, Stanley Tucci. I said you had the good bald guy hairstyle. No, maybe he has a little stubble.
Maybe he might go back and forth.
He has, because I'm looking at older ones, and he has the side stubble.
You know who looks cool with bald hair? That guy who played Casey Jones in the Ninja Turtles movie, the original.
Really?
Look him up. The Casey Jones
original
guy.
Casey Jones guy.
He's in like other movies, but I can't remember his name.
I'm looking him up. Oh, yeah.
See, he looks tough.
Well, yeah, he's got like a tough guy bald.
Right? How do you get the tough guy bald?
I think.
Could you describe it for listeners with that?
I'm trying to think here. The tough guy bald. He first off, he's got a really awesome handlebar mustache going, so he's kind of got a biker look with that. And then the hair is just balding on top. It's just the what's his name? Oh fuck, Ed O'Neill. No, what's his name? Fuck, he's in my Parenthood TV show now. The old guy.
Oh, James Caan?
No, Coach. Who's Coach?
Oh, Craig T. Nelson?
Craig T. Nelson's got the same bald, where he kind of it keeps going back, but they're still kind of long, so it's got a little bit of, it just looks a little bit like off kilter, but he looks like a biker. You have to look like a biker, basically, to look cool with a bald head. And that doesn't work for some people. And the new Casey Jones has got to be terrible.
That's that Green Arrow guy.
Oh, really? Him?
Yeah.
He's not terrible, I guess.
They cast too young in all these movies.
I know.
It's annoying.
Does he have the long hair, at least? I don't think so.
He's got total buzz cut.
Fuck, you gotta have the long hair. The fucking flowing locks. Although, to be fair, that was cool in the 90s and 80s. Now cool is not the long hair. Nobody cool has long hair.
That's true. That's not actually cool.
I'm trying to think of a man with long hair that's cool nowadays.
I see it now and I'm just like, ugh.
I know. But who like when I had that long hair. I was full John Popper.
Let me tell you something
when I had that long hair.
Let me tell you something about what's cool. I was at work today.
Oh, God.
And one of the TVs, because one of our workers or bartenders in the day is a animal lover, put it on Animal Planet. One of the TV. That's the one closest to me, though.
Are you talking about Jackson Galaxy?
No, I'm
the Cats TV show
about
guy?
paroles and pit bulls.
Okay. Wait, pit bulls and parolees.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is based out of New Orleans.
This already sounds like a terrible show. But
this show has to be doing for tattoos. I mean, I would just never want a tattoo after watching an episode of this.
Why? Because this lady has a lot of tattoos?
It's not her. It's like a whole culture of white trash. You just can't fucking get. It's so bad.
I just want to say I'm stealing this from a comic in Madison. And I can't remember his name because I saw him tell this joke at an open mic and it fucking slayed. So this is not my joke. This is some random guy I don't remember the name of, but he had finger tattoos, and he said. And I'm not going to tell it as well as he does, but he said, these tattoos are, I like to call them, never have a job where I get to wear a tie. Tattoos. You know what I mean, though? Like, it's so true. Like,
did he get, like, words put on his knuckles? Or?
Yeah, I think so, or something like that. You know what I mean? He's
what
just
a shame.
Like, I call these my, never holding a real job. Never having a 401k tattoos. You know what I mean? Like, it's so true, though.
Oh, could you imagine, like, any scenario getting one? I can't even...
There was somebody who was talking about how they had a relative that got like a finger tattoo. I'm like, you're never going to get a fucking job again.
Doing?
Everyone's going to see that. I know people will have negative connotations to tattoos, but it just exists. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm not going to say, like, because, like, people like to say, fucking bullshit about, like, being, like, prejudiced against. Getting a tattoo is your fucking choice. It's not like you didn't choose to not have a tattoo. You chose to put that on yourself.
Honestly,
so if someone's going to think of you as being lame for doing that, that's your own fault. All right?
Yeah. I mean, look, if I ever got one or two, they would all be T-shirt covered.
Oh, yeah. Up on top of the shoulder. I said the only time I get a tattoo is Starship Troopers situation. Where aliens are invading, and I have to save the aliens, and I get thrown into like a squad, and we all get a tattoo matching before the big battle.
I fucking do that.
That's a teamwork thing. I'm cool. I'll live that for the rest of my life because I'm probably gonna fucking die.
Right.
I'm gonna get iced by a fucking weird bug. That movie is so fucking good, Lance. I'm just thinking about it now. That was so ahead of its time. It's just so crazy.
You just see these people though, and it's just over.
Yeah, they're on a TV show, but not for much after that. When people stop wanting to see that.
Yeah, I mean it's as much as people want to think that I don't know. If it works for you, do it. I guess.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you have a lot of fucking tats and you can't cover them up, and you're not a creative person
or a wrestler,
you look fucking.
If you're a pro
terrible.
wrestler, it's cool because you're cut.
Oh well, yeah. Well, it's almost an element of the biz.
Yeah.
If you're not a fucking rocker or
yes, you have to be like a lead guitarist or a lead singer or a bassist or a drummer who's shirtless, covered in tattoos.
If you're not working in music or something on screen where it's cool to look that way, or a biker who already doesn't care and sells meth.
Yeah, who sells meth anyway, so it doesn't matter if he's got tattoos. Honestly, I'd be more concerned if the biker I bought meth from didn't have tattoos.
That's true.
I'd be like, he's a cop. He's a fucking cop. Yeah. Shit, you need those. He needs to get they could write those tattoos off on their taxes, business expense.
That's true.
I look the part.
But you just see people and you're just like, these guys got mental problems.
Yeah.
That's just what I think. But they get a couple. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Are they so great that you need a lot of them?
I do feel like people probably get addicted to it, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just can't stop. Like, fuck, remember Steve-O? He got the tattoo of his face on his back?
Yeah, that was... he said nobody laughed. I actually laughed when
I
saw
laughed,
him do
too.
that.
No, 100%. It was worth it for the joke in that Jackass
I thought it
movie.
was worth it, actually.
I laughed.
I've seen... you think Ozzy's dragon tattoo is better than Steve-O's back? I don't think so. I think the Steve-O back tattoo was better.
And the funny part...
Because he did the same thing when he turned around. It was great. It was a great joke.
You know what the nice part... It was also funny because it was like you did this for that 1-2 second joke, which made it funny. But, and to be fair to him, when you wear a shirt, nobody sees that tattoo. You know what I mean? So in regular, everyday business, you're fine. But I don't think Steve-O's doing well, so...
Well, he's like... I feel like
he's
been up and down for a
problems.
while.
I don't want to mischaracterize Steve-O on this internet radio broadcast.
I do know I heard an appearance on Stern where he was promoting a rap CD, and he was very high on something hardcore. That's a good appearance, though. And he ripped on Eminem a good deal, which I felt was deserved. I feel like Eminem could be taken down a peg at any moment. And
he kind of took himself down a peg himself. I know what you mean, though.
He's so full of himself. It's just like, ugh. Don't you hate it when these rap guys become like, how do you put it? They act like they deserve like a certain recognition, like they've achieved something, and it's like, you're a rapper. You haven't achieved. You basically like rapped about Sonny Bono hitting some trees. You fucking sold a single on that. And I don't know, I don't see the correlation between like musical genius and Eminem hit single where he references Bob Saget in Full House. Like, how is that musical genius?
What song is that?
I'm sure there's one. I don't know if there is one.
What?
What are you calling me out for on this one? Of all
well,
the
you
things...
can't rip on his lack of genius without having a concrete example.
Fucking Eminem just go through a ET guide or National Enquirer when he writes these things. I mean, he has the weakest lyrics out of anybody who raps.
That is not true at all. Holy shit. He at least raps about like weird shit. He's talking about fucking doing shrooms and punching someone in the face. It's weird.
Well, I guess some of his stuff is kind of funny.
I understand what you mean. I think he
gets like it's so celebrity obsessed, though.
That's true.
That's the thing that sticks out with him. Is like, okay.
I mean, Kanye, his weird obsession with Taylor Swift.
I'm going to pretend to understand what Kanye does, or
I don't think Kanye understands what Kanye does. He makes clothing. Produces a really intensely good rap album every 3 years. The best parts of it are not him. It's the people that he gets to be on it are all like incredible because he finds talent, you know, Nicki Minaj and Chance the Rapper and like all these really popular people now are like...
You know what annoys me though? I liked all the like hard rock bands from the 80s, and when they started to suck, boy did they get called out on it. People were like, you guys, Motley Crue is shit. And people just would refuse to go to their shows and watch their videos and stuff. And when Eminem started to suck dick, which was probably like 7 years ago, nobody was there to put the finger down and give him the Motley Crue treatment. And that is what annoys me.
Well, is that worse, though, that nobody cared enough to even do that? I think that's what happened.
But I felt like it's a rite of passage that he had to get it, and since he didn't get it, he just is like la-di-da-di-da. I'm just great. Everything I did was great, and it is a rite of passage though. You got to go through the drain and then come back up when you rebrand.
Yeah, you change something.
Yeah,
Chris Gaines.
Well, that was horrible.
That was a different thing entirely.
And it's not that I want them to go away forever. It's that I feel like they do need to be run through the mill at some point, though.
Well,
and it annoys me when they go, like Dr. Dre just goes through life unscathed of any event and just is a dickhead and basically just never gets he never gets that moment where it's like, oh, maybe that record wasn't very good. It never happens. He's just like,
to be fair to
having
Dr. Dre,
a great old time.
He has only put out like 3 albums, and they're all great. I mean,
there's no way the last one's any good, right?
The Chronic was really good.
The soundtrack album to the NWA movie that can't be good, right? He was like 50.
I haven't listened to that. I loved that movie. That movie was really good, but it's also.
And I'm not saying he needs to go away forever. I just want him to get sucker punched.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody who I listened
You want
to
him
did.
to just get... You're saying he deserves,
That's what I'm saying.
He deserves getting
Every
called out?
artist I enjoyed ever got sucker punched in the middle of their career and had to pick up the pieces. I just wanted that to happen to the rap movement, and it didn't.
It does.
And it...
What it's called when the rapper does their mandatory 3 years in jail for some bullshit. Like, I'm kidding, but I'm referencing Gucci Mane particularly. No, but it happens because these fucking guys end up beefing with someone, and then they're like, "Oh, you know what? I need to have fucking AK-47 in my car all the time." And it's like, well, you get pulled over and you go to jail mandatorily for 5 years.
47.
You know what I mean, though? Like Gucci Mane just got out of jail. And it's like, oh, there hasn't been a new Gucci Mane album in 3 years. Now it puts out 4 in 1 year.
Ooh, that's a bad move.
He spent the entire time writing, I guess, and he was just like, I got to put some albums out. And there's some good stuff on them, but, you know, it's like, you just had it backed up. You know,
a little editing would be
funny.
nice.
It's just funny. Like
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane. And then, no, the rappers don't go to jail that much anymore. I'm just saying Gucci Mane, Rick Ross, I think he's in jail now for killing a man.
You know what I liked? I
Yeah.
liked when the game stalked that other rapper.
Oh, dude, the game is going away forever.
Oh, did he get busted?
He got like life. He's done. He put
killed
his last
someone?
album out. I think that
He was always
he was
deep
convicted
in
of
that
manslaughter. Oh man, no, because I recently listened to the
that
game.
video. I just
put out
want to
a-
say before we get into this, that video, one of these rappers called him out on a song. Said he wasn't shit or something. Who knows what they said. And the game literally drove up and stalked him at his house in a very nice area of California. And he got out and he said, like, "You talking shit?" And just starts beating up this rapper. And he literally like ruined this guy's career because after he got his ass beat by the game, his credibility apparently was lost.
I think I'm thinking of the wrong.
Okay,
guy.
the game's still out there.
The game is so. I feel like, oh god, who was it? It was this really big rapper who's like, "All right, I'm going to jail now for 35 years." So
Aaron
this
Hernandez.
is my last.
No.
Fuck. Well, whatever. That's fine. Not the game.
The game was
someone
like,
of
his
the level.
parents were like Crips.
Sure. I mean, those guys. Not all of them, but a
He
lot of them
said
didn't
that's
grow
what
up in
he
good.
says anyway.
A lot of them didn't grow up in good situations, but they rapped their way out. You know.
Yeah.
That's Eazy-E, for God's sakes. You know, he rapped his way into getting HIV.
Well, he might have had that anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, beforehand. Yeah. 'Cause
Well, not even before. You know, that might have been something that might have been. I mean, if that's, you know, Eazy-E might have had his habits that, if they weren't broken, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he is
Here's
not
my
a
lesson.
safe.
Here's the lesson: if you're going to have a bunch of, and that happens in the middle point of the NWA Straight Outta Compton movie, where it's like, okay, let's have sex with prostitutes all the time, and there's fucking naked women all over in our hotel rooms all the time. Use a fucking condom because you don't want to get fucking AIDS.
Yeah.
But then that was back then when people didn't know that.
Who knows
though.
what got him AIDS? You know.
Yeah, it could have been anything, but fuck, man. That part's so sad too, because I think Dr. Dre never like saw him when he was in like the hospital, and he like regretted it for the rest of his life, basically, because
Yeah.
they had gotten into a fight, and Dr. Dre left to become much more successful on his own label, and
Well, that
find
whole
Eminem.
NWA group fucking imploded.
Oh yeah,
Like nobody's business.
it was
Like,
their own
so
fault.
badly.
Everyone just wanted to do stuff on their own. I mean, LL Cool J
They
was
all
like, "I'm going to
had
be," or Ice Cube.
career-ending-
Sorry,
Other than Ice Cube, they all had career-ending injuries of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
That D-Rock guy got in that car wreck and messed up his vocal cords.
yeah.
Right? Isn't that part of the story?
It's not in the movie, but Ice Cube. I mean, Dr. Dre's fucking younger brother died. I forgot about that. Because he wanted. It's so sad too, because like Dr. Dre tells the story. It's like his brother wanted to come out on tour with him, and he was like, "It's fine, but you gotta wait till school's over, and then you can come out. I'll fly out." And didn't live. He was like, "I should just let him come out, like for spring break or whatever." And I was like, "Shit, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible." Like. Sorry, I just brought the podcast down, talking about a high school kid dying and some gang shooting. But that's the way the life was back then.
Yeah.
That's why.
No,
that's what they
was-
rap about. And that's why Straight Outta Compton was so big, because it was like, Oh, you had New York.
When they,
You had Grandmaster Flash, rapping about dancing and partying.
Here's
They're like,
my
let's
thing,
rap
though.
about fucking getting into fights. You know what I mean? Because that's what we live.
but then 20 years later, when Ice Cube comes out with "Back That Ass Up," why isn't he mocked? That's what annoyed me.
Because that's what became popular now.
But and why? Okay, it was a hit. Now we were 15 years past that. Why are people not looking back and saying, "Hey, remember when Ice Cube did Back That Ass Up?"
Hey,
and
it's a classic. It's a club classic.
He's still allowed to just have all
I
the
totally
breaks.
agree.
I mean, come on.
Hey, Kanye got his knocks when he put 808 and Heartbreaks out. And he's like, I'm going to put out a dance album.
What?
And people are like, that's shit. And he's like, okay.
It's not even just rap. I just want the popular music community to take its lumps like it should.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I'll say that.
I just think that they have to go through that a little bit more than what they have. There's been a little too much nothing touches me, I'm perfect type of shit going on. And even Madonna had her down moments, I
don't think she ever got pooped on, though, did she? She got, not for music. Not for her music, did she?
That's true. She pretty much, if she
life
went away, it was
got pooped
because
on.
she, took a break, basically. I guess there were some, like Madonna, where she was untouchable, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Now God, look at her.
Musicians don't get shit on a lot. At all, you're right. Because
for some reason, the kind of music I listen to, that's all they got.
Well, I think it's the fan base there. They expect it. They expect everything to be perfect. You know what I mean? With all the technical guitar playing and stuff. And it's like with pop music, if you make an album that's bad, people are like, oh, it was a new direction they tried that wasn't good. They'll do something else. But with metal, it's metal. If you do it bad, it's bad. If you're Metallica, yeah, they got railed for fucking Saint Anger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people love Metallica, but they put that out. People like the new one.
Yeah, the new one's been received the best for a long time.
It's not bad. You know what I mean? It's definitely not old. People are like, oh, it's like old Metallica. No. It's better than anything we've had in a long time, is what it is.
There are some,
Not since S&M has there been, which is a fucking awesome album.
There are some good, a little overlong. There are some songs that are standouts, though.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
Yeah.
It's got some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't buy it because I heard it, I watched the videos online.
Yeah.
And it just takes so long to get through the whole thing. And I always listen to albums as a whole.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to listen to because
Mm-hmm.
it's got to be an hour and a half.
Yeah. That's the same thing, too. People were talking about how, we talked about this a little bit the last time we were in here, but people were talking about how, the album format's dead. And, every artist that was big this year that's going to be big at the Grammys put out, full albums of good songs. Beyonce's album is, a concept album. You know what I mean? It's not just here's two singles.
Let's be honest, it's the equivalent of putting a movie out.
Yeah. Which she did. Have you seen the movie?
She's got a movie?
Well, yeah. The album is a DVD and a CD, and the DVD is all the music videos, and it tells kind of a movie story.
Oh.
It's actually pretty cool. It's a really neat thing that she did. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone just put out good full albums this year, and I don't know, and they're selling well. It was just I love the album format. You know what I mean? I'm just like you. I like to listen to a full album, hear it all. And it really pisses me off when an album is it's 2 good songs and filler. Which,
oh, yeah.
Saint Anger.
That wasn't even any good songs.
I think the Saint Anger song is all right. It's okay. But that's the best.
I like the song Some Kind of Monster, I guess.
There's a couple of songs in there. They're but they're not good. They're oh, this is all right. Because the rest is so bad it stands out. But I know what you mean. The 2 singles and the rest is shit. Which I feel Van Halen always does.
Well, they couldn't write songs, so they would cover 2 Kinks songs per record.
Yeah.
Or there was always a cover on a Van Halen song. And not until they got Hagar that they...
Those singles
Hagar
are so
could
good,
write
though.
songs like Clockwork.
Yeah.
He was almost a workman-like type of songwriter where he was just we just sing about love, man. What's...
I never really...
He had a point.
I hadn't listened to a lot of Van Halen, right?
But the Roth stuff was
But did you see the South Park episode from 3 seasons ago?
You know, you were telling me about it. It sounded
It's
great.
amazing. They have like
Talking about love.
there was like I forget what it was. Oh, it was the cure to world peace and all religions, and like there were all these signs, and it made the Van Halen symbol. And just Van Halen came out, and we're playing music, and everyone like was hugging because Van Halen was so rocking. And then I was like, man, I remember liking Van Halen. I gotta go back and listen to some fucking Van Halen. You're like, this is just so good.
Stuff is pretty much good.
Yeah,
like except for the Gary Cherone album, which it's Van Halen 3. Nobody knew that one existed, but all the Ratha Hagar stuff's good, pretty much.
I mean, yeah. I mean, well, think about this. Like we're talking about 3, but like when you talk about like great albums, Led Zeppelin, up until was the Houses of the Holy is the fucking filler album.
No,
like,
Physical Graffiti.
Yeah,
that's like the double length one with the 10-minute songs.
1, 2, and 3, and 4. Are fucking just listen to the whole thing through. They're all amazing. And then after that,
there's Houses of the Holy, which is like the
there's
bridge.
Good stuff on that though, right?
That's pretty much a good album.
I want to say this right now. I'm going to go on a fucking record. Kashmir is not a good song. Fuck that song.
Not even good.
It's the same 6 bars over and over again with Jimmy Page going over the top of it. It's like it's 30 seconds. That would be cool, but it's not a full song.
Doesn't do it. You know, I have that same feeling with the song "Outshined" by Soundgarden, where it's the same riff, and it's just, I like the riff, I just don't want it to be the whole song. And they just were like, check it out, and some of the lyrics are bad on that too.
Fair enough.
But Kashmir, I don't know how I feel. There's a weird like Middle Eastern.
It sounds pretty cool.
Like, why are they there?
I like
like what's going on?
I like the flutes and all, but you know, could we have a flute solo in the middle?
That song, you have to admit, Kashmir gets old. That's the reason why you never hear it at bars, right?
Well, I hear it on the radio all the fucking time,
that's true.
And it's like, all right, I've heard Kashmir twice today. 101.5, which is a local radio station.
Getting your 2-block of Zepp on.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's play your favorite Zepp tune, Stairway to Heaven, Kashmir, every time.
Stairway is like a song that nobody should...
Stairway.
If you listen to the whole album, okay, but like don't just skip to that and make us listen to it.
I know.
Please don't.
I will say this. To be, like, on its own, I feel like Stairway to Heaven is up in the upper echelon of perfect rock songs. Because it just has that moment where the guitars kick in, and it's just so fucking rocking. Like... That one's good. I don't know. Bohemian Rhapsody has some moments. That moment in that one where they just are like, there's some good rock songs in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And the 70s. Oh.
Anyway, I think we're time for a break here.
I think it is time for a break. But, like, put fucking music out like that. How? Come on. Before we break, the Metallica new album, was that analog?
No. No way.
I mean, not that
it sounds very good, though.
Not that you need to do that, but I think that like the production has gone way too electronic, especially in rock. And it's like, Wolfmother's album was so good. Why can't we do that more? All right, we'll take a break and we can wrap it up. All right, welcome back. Well, not really a half. This
We're
is
almost
the
there.
second part.
Home stretch.
Home stretch time.
We're here to talk about what we'd be remiss if we did not.
No, let's talk about Dan first.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that first.
Okay, my God.
Because this is an update from a story from last time.
So the burning question was last week, what did Dan say or do that got him beaten up?
Yes, so this was the man who got into a big fight and broke his jaw or just...
He thought he got his jaw broke, and he
hurt.
was beaten so badly that he was just bruised, that he came into work, and they said, go home.
He was too bruised looking.
He could not be in the bar.
No one's going to look at you.
We can't have you bleeding on food or whatever you're doing. Like
oozing sores from punches.
So he had to go. And then they decided that they just fired him.
Aww.
After that. Well, when you get the whole history, it's not that bad.
Not a good worker either, on top of it.
I mean, this is all in 2 months of working.
Okay. So he's new as well.
He served a minor. He got his ass kicked so bad he couldn't work. what more he gets blitzed and was drooling on the bar. I mean, how many more things do you need to...
So what are we going to call the bar that you're talking about? The Winchester.
The Winchester.
We'll call it the Winchester. From Shaun of the Dead.
His biggest thing...
You can get drinks at the Winchester if you're underage. Go there. No, that guy's gone now.
His thing, too, was a mistake that he didn't make friends with people he should have made friends with.
Got it.
Anyway. No, I found out what really happened. So I was close. But you can't just say that you think somebody could say this because it'd be wrong to say.
Sure.
And I would never have guessed this.
Yeah.
So he was at a State Street hangout on a weekend night.
Downtown Madison.
And he was hitting on... I was half right. He was hitting on a girl who was involved with another guy.
Okay.
Her boyfriend, not wanting to, just fight or whatever, goes over to his friend and says, hey, that's my girlfriend. You need to get him away from her or else it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I'm going to be the better man here. Mm-hmm. He maybe doesn't know that we're together. You need to get him away, and then we won't have a problem.
Yes.
Got it. That's a nice thing for him to do.
That is an example that can be learned by many.
Yes.
Anyway. So this guy acting as a middleman goes over to the little dance party going on, taps him on the shoulder, says, hey, you can't be doing this over here. She's involved. Yeah. And his fucking jig is up. Time to move on.
Yeah.
We even should get out of here, probably, type of thing.
Yeah.
Dan replies.
Okay.
Fuck you, N-word.
This was the black man.
It was a black guy.
And
that was his friend. That was his friend. He was his friend for years.
Okay.
He said that to him.
His friend. Stop! I completely lost the train on this one.
I know. So, I might have.
No, it's fair enough. No, it's my fault because I was trying to soak in the situation. So, this guy comes over to him and tells his friend to not.
Who is black?
And his friend.
And I didn't want to reveal.
That's fair enough. No, you don't want to just. I know what you mean. You don't want to say that someone, and that's the only thing about him. But that's what matters in this situation.
Now
because of what has been said, that does matter. So yeah, okay, and then so the friend
goes over to Dan.
Yep.
And tells him we got to move on.
Yes.
And Dan, in his frenzy, tells him, fuck
F
you,
off,
N-word.
N-word. And now he didn't say did he? He was.
No.
He was like, bro.
He went fucking over the line.
He went full David Duke.
Yeah.
He went. Oh, Lauren's home.
And then the beating occurred.
Oh, ouch. Wait, what? His friend beat him up?
Yeah, that's who beat him up.
You know what? That's a solid reason to get beat up, I think.
Dude, it's kind of a betrayal.
He's your friend, man.
You shouldn't say that. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't say that to anyone. Less your friend.
Exactly.
Come on.
Because this was a person who confided in you and had trust in you.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
And now secret feelings are being said that are wrong.
Yes.
You say that to someone's face who is maybe as is this case, stuck his neck out for you. And then now you come back with that. It's a betrayal.
Oh yeah.
So he got a whooping, and that story got around, and that was another reason they couldn't keep him because people around where we are can't have that type of reputation.
Yeah, you can't say that to. You could say that to a customer, and then now no one will show up here because they don't want to talk to this kind of guy.
He works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get a shift, and then they know, so-and-so's here.
Yeah.
And he still shows up. It's so weird.
Yeah, but he doesn't work. He got fired.
No,
he still shows up.
And he shows up, and he even peeks his head into the kitchen sometimes. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
If I got fired...
You're not part of this place anymore, dude.
From a job, I probably wouldn't ever go back. Actually, I do that.
I've put in notice and never gone back. That's how little I care.
Yeah. No, why should you? You're done. It's over.
I know.
But apparently he just
it's so
can't
much
give
worse than I thought it was.
Yeah, that is bad. Somehow you could get worse than sleeping with a married or was it an engaged man's girl?
Yeah.
He
found
betraying a friend.
Yeah.
And using a racial slur. Like, okay. Dude, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, and the last subject that we were going to, that was just a nice little...
a little update.
A little update.
Right.
I thought I should clarify some things. And then we did want to talk about the inauguration.
It's a new dawn.
It's a new dawn.
We're going to be made great again. It's time. It's time. Again, we were bad before. We're great again. That's what's going to happen. No, but you wanted to talk about the musical acts?
Well, there was so much going on.
I want to hear about this. I want the listeners to hear about this
Leading there was a preamble to the inauguration.
Yes. Yeah, so they do like a party the night before?
Yeah.
Why?
It's like a festival.
I guess it makes sense.
Music festival now.
When you think about it, people like...
If you go to Summerfest...
Well, people are coming from around the country. They're going to show up the day before. They got to have something to do the night before, like, what are we going to do? Hang out in our hotel room all night?
And this is a detail that was missed by major news outlets, originally scheduled to perform this concert. There's going to be a concert in D.C. For these guests. Originally scheduled to perform Vince Neil. And we talked about this. Solo. Vince Neil.
Vince Neil of Motley Crue
fame, who has already been mentioned tonight in this eve's podcast. So we're talking about a scenario where Hillary Clinton possibly... This was no matter who won, by the way.
Yeah.
This was Trump or Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
A scenario where Hillary Clinton would be celebrated after Vince Neil just sang the likes of Same Old Situation or what's another song that make me a little... a lot of the songs aren't actually very sexist, but that one's about lesbians, so that's why I threw it out there. Doctor, who knows what songs? Maybe do some covers. Hey, you ready to rock and roll? Is Vince Neil? So he got hired, and then Trump won.
It seems like it was the previous administration was like, hey...
You think Obama booked Vince Neil? Is that what you're saying?
Obama's like, hey, bro, let's call up the crew. Let's get Vince Neil on the phone.
I think Motley Crue would be excellent.
Excellent for the start of another four. Yeah, it would be great.
Catalog with many hits.
No, he listened to him back when he was in college. Like old Barry. So Vince Neil was like,
"Yeah, man."
I don't know. I'm reading this story, and it says TMZ is like interviewing him, and I don't know if he knows what's going on either.
Well, does he ever know?
But the situation was that they were uninvited by the Trump campaign. Like,
that's true.
You're not going to be here.
An elect had been chosen. Mm-hmm. He was disinvited.
Of course.
They said, "No, thank you, sir.
No,
we
want the full crew."
No. No. Even worse.
We got better.
We want 3 Doors Down.
I didn't even know.
Who is apparently still a functioning group.
So, okay, 3 Doors Down, famous for, is that the Superman song?
Kryptonite. My Kryptonite.
We had a friend. We have a friend.
Yeah. I know who you mean already.
I think he's been on the show once. Petey.
Oh, okay.
John
I thought you were
Peterson.
talking about our other friend who told long-winded stories that had no meaning.
Oh, no. I'm talking about... Who are you talking about?
The guy, Rick W. You remember that guy?
No.
Back in the day?
Oh, no.
All right. Well, I'll tell you the full name later.
I think I know who you're talking about. But anyway.
Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was into that.
I would like to mention I have only been in one fist fight, and it was with that person.
What?
Yeah, I was at a Boy Scout camp, too.
Boy Scout.
I was troop leader, and he was being a dick to everyone and me, and so...
We used to listen to his 3 Doors Down.
We got into a scuffle. He famously had only edited versions of albums because his parents wouldn't let him have the full ones, and we'd make fun of him for it. I feel bad for the kid. He got made fun of. And his dad was, like, involved heavily, so he kind of had...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hands-on.
Like, yeah, it just sucked.
But you know, every time you, like, wanted to...
No, I'm talking about John Peterson.
No, I know Pete, yeah.
Was obsessed.
We're switching over now. He is not the person we were just talking about.
He was obsessed with that Three Doors Down song. I remember when that came out. He played it all the time, and he was like, "This is such a great song." I was like, "I guess it's all right, like it's fine."
Are they one-hit wonder, right? Maybe they got another, but that's kind of what I think of them for.
Lance, let's start our 2-man cover band, Two Doors Down. I'm calling it. I don't know. What did Three Doors Down do?
I think it's just My Kryptonite, and
that song was the hottest shit in like 2005.
And it was a summer song. It's one of the summer tracks. It just wouldn't go away. They maybe had another song, like on that record too, though, where there was like a woman in the video who had a tub. She was in a tub and she was like falling through a floor or something.
They're from Escatawpa, Minnesota, which I have to assume is in the upper north near Canada part.
Well, that's where all the cool things happen, John.
Let's see here. Kryptonite. Wait, was Loser a big song? I feel like that sounds big. All off the same album, though. American Pie 2. That's where they had their big.
That was the song?
Well, I think that's like when they had... I think that Loser song was on there.
I think Losers.
Rush guitarist Alex Lifeson produced and performed on 3 tracks for the record Dangerous Game, one of their follow-up albums.
Alex Lifeson needed something to do.
I guess they've still been kind of doing stuff. Up to 2010, they were apparently self-titled 4th album, Three Doors Down, in 2008, debuted #1 on the Billboard 200.
No way. In 2008? So they made it bigger than ever, like way after I knew them? Wow.
I just got to assume that they're like a Christian rock band now I'm thinking about this. Because it says lineup changes here going on, so I got to assume.
I know one guy died recently.
Oh, no.
One of the guitar players died.
Sad. No,
and they did that typical thing.
Oh, you're right. Vehicular homicide.
Well, there was one guy who died of drugs. I thought maybe 2 guys. Though.
Oh shit!
A guitar player.
Oh, they played a summer tour with Daughtry.
Oh,
of course they did.
A whole tour of that.
Oh god, this is like they're like one step away from Nickelback. You know what I mean?
One step. They wish they were Nickelback.
They're like
I'd rather watch Nickelback than any of this shit.
Oh wow.
Nickelback's not the best scene, admittedly, but
yeah.
You would pick Three Doors Down over this? Over Nickelback?
I'd like to hear Kryptonite.
Nickelback has some good songs.
Lance, you got to eat those words.
Well, some songs that like have a guitar riff. I mean, Three Doors Down. I mean, this is like alt rock territory. Mm-hmm. It's hard to stomach.
Lance, I'm on a Huffington Post article. Why did this website is a goddamn garbage fire? There's 100 things going on right now. Why did Three Doors Down say yes to the inauguration? Would you like to know? Many stars bowed out. Did you know that?
Here we go.
They're making
the real meat of the.
The real meat is. Did you know that Three Doors Down? Okay, this article is just tweets from famous people talking about shit.
Wow.
No, okay. Did you know that Three Doors Down actually played George W. Bush's inauguration as well?
Been on top forever, or is that what I'm to
That's
understand?
Just funny. It's just funny that
they've actually been popular this long, and we didn't know.
They played good old GW's inauguration in like 2004. They were big then, though. That was their like big time.
They were like a secret hit. Like, I don't know. I thought they could use the bump. Because they had to defend doing it. On a lot of people said, "Hey, you shouldn't do the inauguration ball. You suck."
It sounds like they don't give a shit. They just said, we're going to do it." But
I thought the real reason they wanted to do it was because they desperately needed attention.
They said, you want to know exactly what he said when asked? It was no publicity is bad publicity.
I'm not that far off.
They were just like, hey, we'll do it. And like, they play rock music.
It could be that type of attitude that's kept them on top this long. I didn't know. I got to give them respect. I got to give respect to Three Doors Down here.
I didn't think
I thought they were one-hit wonder. Apparently, they made a whole career out of this.
Yeah.
And they've done multiple presidential.
Yeah.
Hey, they're making friends in high places. You can't poo-poo that, can you?
I got to say this.
As much as you want to be like, hey, screw the man. Didn't you actually stand there next to the president? Didn't you want to be his friend? Didn't you want him to kind of be like, hey, I think you're cool?
I think here's the problem.
I would totally.
Here's the problem, though.
Any president, I don't care who they are.
Yeah.
I would totally be like, no, totally. Like, I'm for you, man.
I like some of the artists saying that they
I'm
would
not
do
gonna
it,
say
though.
anything mean to you. No, I'm your. I'll beat that guy up. I don't care.
I did like some of the punk group that were saying that they would do it, and they're like, "Yeah, get us up there. We'll do some stuff." Like, I kind of would like to see that. Like, ooh,
They
that's
should have
fun.
got the Reunited Misfits.
Oh my
that would have
God.
been great.
That would
Would have made no sense.
Would've
It would have
been
been like
amazing.
really confused.
Oh, it would have been amazing because, like, you got to imagine that crowd who is there for Toby Keith. Let's be honest, he's the biggest name, and that you bring out like the fucking Misfits and the fucking Eagles Dare they sing. It's like, what?
They wouldn't even know what they're saying. It'd just be a
my
blaring
God.
noise to them.
Man, Lance, Misfits are so fucking good. That was like my favorite band in college was Misfits. Like that is what I
They're
listened
back.
to.
They're reunited.
That's
so-
awesome. With what's his name? No,
With Danzig.
With Danzig.
He's doing tours.
I don't think I need to see that band live,
No.
as they're all like ancient and as any.
But
punk
let's
rock-
put it this way: what if a show came around where they opened for a band that you really wanted to see live? You'd really want to go then, wouldn't you? Like, they're kind of an opener.
Yes.
They're not actually... They're opening for arena acts.
For sure.
They're not actually headlining theater shows.
I've seen Misfits.
That's the type of tour they're doing. So they
Yeah.
pull you in. They
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
you
yeah.
into the tour, you know. So maybe they'll open for somebody that you want to see.
Okay.
Maybe they'll open for, like, a punk band that you like.
I don't
like
really
a
listen to a lot of
Rancid
punk
or
bands. Rancid.
something.
Rancid's an opening band too, though.
Oh.
They're not very big.
It's been yeah.
It's been a while. Black Flag's not around too much anymore. Is
They
it?
couldn't. I'm talking like actual money, not
Yeah.
like bottle caps.
You know, hey
Fucking
now,
Black Flag.
safety pins and bubble caps, whatever they got.
What do you expect they get paid?
I'd like to see Black Flag at an inauguration.
They don't even
There's
have
some good
like.
stuff going on.
Come on, they're like not even a. They're one of those things where, first of all,
Could we get Henry Rollins to perform?
if Henry Rollins was with them, okay, you got something, but they don't have.
he
him.
would like poop on a flag, is what would he would go like.
He's
Gigi,
not Gigi Allen.
He would go Gigi Allen. That guy. Actually, I don't even know what his political leanings are, but he's a crazy person. So
Well, you know, he said something really funny. I thought, where he said that because he does always have these perspectives,
sure.
and he said that Americans weren't as I'm paraphrasing, of course,
Yes.
as educated in the world affairs as other nations.
Okay.
But
So you
then
don't
he
have to deal with them.
used this to follow up with this line.
Okay.
He said, because they haven't been to places like India. And then I just died laughing.
Yeah,
After
okay.
I read, I was like, "Oh,
You had a trip
thanks,
to
Henry."
India where everything got enlightened for you, so you're better. No. Hey,
like,
man.
we have a thing or I mean, come on.
Hey, there are a lot of dumb Americans. Okay. But, you know
what the thing is?
there's a lot of dumb
Even like a guy like you or
every
me,
country.
when we say something stupid, we can kind of like be called out on it
Yeah.
with each other
Yeah.
and admit it
Yeah.
and say like, you know what, I said something stupid just now.
It happens.
And Henry Rollins does these lofty interviews,
Yeah.
and he tries to tell us we all should go to fucking India,
Yeah.
where people take dumps in the
Dude,
airport terminal.
I just want to say this. Is that I have, like, I went to college,
and then
right?
you're like, well, wait a second,
No.
Henry Rollins. I thought this was a great place.
No, I want to tell you this. I have friends that went to college, and they'll send, like,
He's too proud to
fucking
admit his
photographs, and they're
mistake.
like, man, my entire perspective has changed since I visited Thailand. And you're like, oh, really?
That's kind of creepy,
Ooh, big
actually.
world.
There's connotations going on with Thailand.
It's a beautiful place.
Is that it?
That's all there is. There's
All
no
right.
lady boys or anything going on there. That's Taiwan and Thailand. But no, I know what you mean, though. But like,
You didn't get that vibe off of him, though?
no,
Okay.
no, because
He
I think-
actually enjoyed the
no,
atmosphere
he
of
went
the
to
country.
Vietnam as well. I think he was doing the whole Southeast Asian tour. But you know what I mean? Or I had a friend that's like, man, I wish I was still in India. And it's like, all right. You had one good trip to India, all right? Just enjoy living in the fucking slums of New Delhi. Like, you visited the tourist parts.
I'm pretty sure the opening scene of Slumdog Millionaire featured a character being thrown into a poop pool.
Isn't that the opening scene? That sticks with me to this day. He fell into like a poop pit. Okay, let's talk about.
It is the opening. Is it opening or not opening? It's like one of the main.
It's the second like question on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire that makes him think of the poop scene. All right, famous poop scenes in movies. There's that. There's the Schindler's List poop scene. We got to talk about that one. Remember that where the kid wants to hide in the poops.
Oh, that's
and they're
awful.
like, and they're like,
that's
there's no room for you in the poop, and he has to climb out. He literally in this scene. If you haven't seen Schindler's List, go see it. It's classic. No, I'm kidding. Don't watch that movie unless you want to be very bummed out. But no, there's a scene where like
that one had they came out with an alternate ending, didn't they?
Yeah, right. They had the ending where Hitler came back as a robot, and they had to they had like the people were getting people lined up, and all the kids hid in the camps. They wouldn't be found.
Totally forgot about
this. Yeah. And then this little kid, it follows him around. He's trying to find all these hiding spots, and the kids are like, "Shh, you can't do it." It's really well shot. Spielberg, obviously, and this kid can't find a place to hide, and he goes into a fucking like latrine toilet and climbs down in there, and then he looks around, and there's just like a ton of other kids, and they're just like, you have to get out of here, and he has to climb out of a toilet. Like the toilet was not enough room for you in here, and he had to go. And I think he hid somewhere else, if I remember.
I do want to talk about though.
Nope, one more poop scene. The Help, when Viola Davis
didn't Sleepaway Camp 2 have a poop scene where a woman got like beaten with a club inside a toilet?
Maybe.
Did we watch that?
I'm talking about The Help.
Okay, The Help.
Have you seen the movie The Help?
No, that's the slavery movie.
Yeah, no, it's actually about like post-slavery, like black helpers helping out like white families, and like just the help. You know what I mean? Like they're the help.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so anyway,
what year is this?
Oh, I don't know, 50s or 60s. Or something.
Oh, okay, so they're not. Okay,
no,
I didn't
not slavery.
Understand
well, if you haven't seen it, how would you know? But anyway, so there's a scene where Viola Davis, like to get back at these white people, they're terrible to her. She bakes a poop pie with poop in it, and
you're making this up.
And they
it's
eat it.
It's not Viola Davis; it's that other lady.
What's her name? Look her up.
Okay.
Oh, it's. You're right. It's not Viola Davis.
Chicken Hidden Figures.
You're making. You can't be serious.
This is a scene.
Wasn't this a movie that got awards?
Yes. This is a scene in which a poop
can't
pie.
Even believe this.
Eat my shit.
Yes. What?
Wouldn't you smell it?
Exactly. As soon as you get that, you'll be like, "This is literal poop I have in my hands."
A steaming pile of poop.
Here's a hot poop pie. Eat a poop pie.
This get awards, right? This was like a
Octavia Spencer. Thank you. She's in that Hidden Figures movie. She's like the I don't know what to describe. She has big eyes. She's I don't know. She's in a lot of shit. She's not as anyway. She made a poop pie. And people ate it, and they didn't smell it, and that is
wow. And they didn't taste it either. That's amazing.
Yeah, there must have been maybe she just did a little poop. It was mostly something else. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could see like they took it a little too far. I mean, not even like at McDonald's.
It's based on a book. So, what are you saying? McDonald's is serving poop pies?
I'm saying
they don't have anything remotely poop.
You hear about somebody spitting in the food, though,
yeah.
and that type of thing.
You'd know, though. Well, maybe not on a burger, but like if they spit in your fries, you'd know.
Well, I mean,
or a drink.
Typically, people do know, and they. Not typically. I would say probably like less than half.
You never spat in anyone's food, did you?
No, fuck no.
Why would you do that?
It's a sacred trust.
It's not even
making. You are given a.
It's not even that though.
For me, it is. It's a trust of just even if you don't like somebody, you don't fuck with another person's food.
No.
Because it's an underhanded, dirty thing to do. Yeah, and it's just not right.
Check this shit out though. Also, the people that make the food almost never interact with the customer, so like there's no way you could get pissed. Because like when we worked at McDonald's, it would just be like, yeah, you just got to make these burgers. I don't know who they're going to. They're on the list to be made. Like, you know what I mean? Like. Just doesn't happen. And you're in a different situation where you work at now, where you might know the people that are ordering food. But
I've had times in the past when I was a dick.
Yeah.
And I refused food because
you were worried.
Yes. I was just like, no, I don't want your fucking.
Need to only
orange
order
juice.
foods that can't be spit in.
I was like, I was already an asshole to you. There's no way I want your food.
Oh my God. So
I already.
I talked about
that.
this on the podcast, I think, when I went to Five Guys and they shorted me on fries. And
how did you know that they did that?
how did you know?
Yeah, they shorted
You've gotten fries at Five Guys?
Usually they're all over the bag.
This fries I got was in the cup and didn't even fill it.
Oh, it's shorted.
They shorted me.
They give you the end of the batch.
Dude, the fries are fucking expensive. A small fry is $3.50. I'm expecting a ton of fucking fries for $3.50, and they usually give it to you. You know what I mean? But they didn't, and so I complained, and the guy sent me an email who runs the store and said, I'll talk to the people, whatever. If you give them this email, I'll give you a large fry for free.
Okay.
To me, that is, here's an email, go spit in my fries.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm the guy that got you yelled at by your boss. It was like, why wouldn't you send me a $5 gift certificate? You know what I mean?
I didn't even think of
Like,
that.
then they don't know. But yeah, it was just funny. It was like, I'm never going to redeem this because it's just not worth me. I would be too embarrassed to bring it up, you know? I don't know.
But, one final...
Yeah, we're done here.
We're done?
Well, no, you can go.
Well,
We're gonna wrap
I just
it up.
wanted to briefly kind of touch on, we had watched the inauguration. You had watched the
I did
inauguration. No.
No, I'm at work.
Oh, okay.
It's during my
I
work day.
lazily woke up at like 10:30, made food,
And then it was on the TV.
I was told the night before, wake up at 11, and I said, okay, I put
Wait,
it on.
what? Wait a minute.
My boss is like way into this stuff, so
Excuse me?
yeah,
Your boss?
yeah.
That is really weird.
He was like specifically like, hey, you get up at 11, you can watch the inauguration.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay.
This is a must-see TV event, and it's weird. Is what you're going to tell me that it's a weird thing to watch?
Well, basically, it came. I got on there like 10 minutes before, and
And you're watching this at a bar.
no, this is in the morning.
Oh.
This is at the next day after I've worked. So,
Oh, okay.
I
Wait, you go over to his house?
No, my house. I got DirecTV.
Oh,
you know.
you're not watching it.
He was
with
just
him.
telling me that
You should watch it.
that I should watch it.
Okay. And
That
you
it
did.
was on at a certain hour because I wouldn't have known otherwise.
No, of course.
And I actually wouldn't have. So I put it on, and I see.
I've never seen an inauguration.
That was another thing that I realized while I was watching it was I had never actually watched one of these.
No, of course
things.
not.
The other thing I realized was how I personally have no patience for anybody who was under the president to be talked to or talking before he took the stage. I was
Okay.
sitting there like, I saw a guy with white hair come up to the podium, and he's like, and I would like to, and he's like, Vice President. I'm like, oh, mute button. I could not give less of a shit about what the get out of here.
Yeah, they don't even get.
So then I go back to my computer and I'm doing.
The vice president gets sworn in like a separate like ceremony that's in like a fucking like not attended by people. You know what I mean? It's like his wife and him are like, all right.
Is that it?
Yeah,
I didn't
they
know
actually
that.
do. Actually, when actually I think it happens the same day for like senators and stuff. They actually just get in a big line and walk up to the vice president and they swear them all in a row and they're like, yeah. I'm serious. They like,
No,
just
I
do it all in
believe
one
you.
big shot, you know. But
Because they kind of get the people who would be under the chief in place before the chief is in place. That makes sense, actually. But
now, could I get sworn in not with the Bible, but could I get like Skinner's album? Sick ass, the first one,
pronounced to Leonard Skinner.
Yep, and just put my hand on that because that I pledge allegiance to that album. No, what else happened though? You said there's some weird ceremony to this that you did not realize.
I muted that, and then
Then
they had like a bunch of religious people come up, and like from every religion, and it was just like now a bishop. Will
probably
talk.
not every religion.
Now I don't think. Well, because there's like 200 religions, right? Scientology was not
There's
represented.
no sign. Cruise comes
Now
up.
Tom Cruise will talk.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I'm really tall, guys.
They hit like the big 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay. Yep, sure. The big 3.
It's the big 3. What do you call it? Anyway, so they had a lot of people do prayers, and then they swore in Trump, and they kind of had. I'm trying to think. They had that, and then he gave his inaugural speech. And he was amazingly, and I'm gonna remain kind of, I don't know how to say, bipartisan.
Are you going to say
in my recollection?
Are you going to say
speech.
he was amazingly coherent?
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Okay.
I was just going to say that it struck me as interesting how he said that the previous president was so magnificent, and then undercut him for like a minute afterwards.
Oh yeah, of course. It's always kind of funny.
I don't know. Is that a tradition? I don't know. Maybe it's a tradition.
I don't know, especially like because
I'd have to watch the old ones.
I think remember at the inauguration dinner that he had, Bill and Hillary Clinton were there. And he was like, pointed them out and was like, I'm so happy that they're here and thanks. And I was like, you said you wanted to put her in jail. And it was like, okay, you know?
What's hard to, it's hard to tell that difference between like dirty politicking and then real politicking.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were friends before.
Why would Hillary be in attendance?
Just because.
Because
she knew people there? I have no clue.
That's something we don't understand. I think it's because it's like a whole nother layer to politics that we don't really like cotton to yet. And it's that when you saw George
maybe
W.
It's traditional for the loser
and
to show
both
up,
of the
though.
Clintons.
You know what I mean?
But George W. got thrown under the bus, and his brother got beaten to a pulp by Trump. So why would he show up? It's like a tradition.
Maybe it's all. Oh, you know what?
See, here's the thing. It's like anybody.
I know what it is.
What is it?
I bet it's every previous president shows up. That's still alive. I bet it
They
is.
said HW would have if he didn't have pneumonia.
I think that's it. That's why they were there, and they were like, "Thanks for."
But I don't think that's the only reason. I think it's like seriously, they're representing their own.
Well, it's like a club. You know what I mean?
You don't go away into the outfield like Ray Liotta in that movie when he plays for the White Sox.
Wait,
and you don't disappear.
Are you talking about Field of Dreams?
Field of Dreams.
Dude, Jimmy Carter still alive somehow.
He was there. I didn't recognize him. He's got a weird head.
He's like 90. So
no, I know he had brain cancer too. It's hard to.
Dude, that guy's still alive.
He can't be beaten.
You know why? You know why? Because he's like the most upbeat, positive man, even at 90. Like he is just super happy, and it's like that's the way to live, man. If you want to live to be 90.
No, but these people.
Yeah.
I think it's more like. You're never out of the race. You are influential to the end. I mean, and that was just.
You're always a statesman as an ex-president. You know what I mean? You're always.
They have to be there. You can't.
No, yeah.
As much as you may object to something or other, you have to be there.
Yeah, and that's why they were there.
Yes,
because they're like it would be a dick thing not to. Like let's. Whatever, you know what I mean.
That's all I'm saying.
The race is over.
I was just surprised with this, and on both ends.
Yeah.
What a that type of smear campaign on both sides, that ultimately, like the opponents and everybody got together and acted like they should. I just was surprised by that because I didn't quite expect that. And
when it comes down to it, though, is it?
But that's what I'm saying. And becoming aware of this other layer.
It's not worth it to throw a tantrum. You know, like it's. There's not going to help anything. You know what I mean? At this point.
No, and that just shows you that I think that a lot of these higher up politicians know a lot more than we do.
What's a game?
That's what I.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. When George, by the way, George W. Showing up, yucking it up. I mean,
dude,
you know, there's something about that guy's smile. That just is like he actually is a nice. I want to love this guy.
I know.
You see him, and he had this crack and a smile with his red face, and I was just like, oh my god, it's a W.
You know, I'm not going to say
he really was likable. I mean, as much as he
got us into a war with
Iraq, let's not get into details,
and all
John.
These horrible things that happened. You know what though? All he does
what I'm saying?
As an old man is draw dogs. He paints dogs. And hangs out on a ranch. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like a fun guy now.
He talked about armadillos?
Yeah. He likes to talk about
do you want to be his friend?
I could see it. even now. I hated him when I was in college.
I
and
know.
Now it's like...
That's a rite of passage,
And now
going
you're
to college and hating him.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you know that if you met him, real person, you'd want to impress him. You'd want to be his friend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He seems like a nice guy. Everything I've seen now... It seems like the bad apple in that bunch may have been the Cheney guy. May have been running
Cheney,
things.
I'm still afraid of.
Yeah, well, he did shoot his friend in a hunting accident.
I still will not say a crossword about him on video or audio or any
Yes,
type
I'm
of...
not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying that he may have been the one in
vice
charge
president
more than the W who was there for the fun. Anyway.
But and then the last thing
You said there was some weird crystal bowl?
Yeah, I do have to get to the
talk
crystal
about the
bowl
crystal
before
bowl.
we
The
before
kingdom
we
of the
sign off.
crystal bowl.
So I zone out for a little bit.
As you would do.
I put it back on mute because Trump's not talking.
I just think
and
it's funny because you're just like, your boss is like, you need to watch this. And you're just like, what is this? Like, this is boring.
I like only put it on when the president's talking, nothing else.
Sure.
But
he's the only one of any substance that matters at that thing.
it is. I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And so I put mute back on. I go back to my computer, and in my one bedroom room.
Yeah.
Anyway,
At least you can watch it on your computer, though. That's nice. They stream
well, I
it.
was watching on my TV across the room, and then I have my
I
computer
think
on
that
the
they
other
streamed
side
it
of the room.
on the internet, too.
They probably did.
Okay.
I had it on, so definitely.
Yeah.
So I hit mute because some boring stuff was happening, and then I just kept it on, and then there was some rioting, and there was like some smoke grenades, and there was some like people holding signs up, and they wouldn't even show what the sign was, and it's like, you know what, I probably don't care what the sign says.
Do you know what my favorite sign is? And I'm going to say bipartisan, but it's a great gag.
Okay.
They said, because there's a approval rating poll, I don't know, last week on CBS, it was 32%. They said, Trump approval rating, 32%. Paul Blart Mall Cop, Rotten Tomatoes, 33%. I was like, ouch. That's an ice cold burn. Paul Blart Mall Cop, more popular. Sometimes those signs, they're funny. It's college
That's
game.
true.
It's college game day out there.
Probably not that day. Well, that was a good sign. I don't know. I honestly think that a lot of the protesters for the parade,
Mm-hmm.
they almost want to be arrested. So then they're kind of like, I was there inauguration day when it all went down. And so they can kind of like be the beginning of the next like little troop of protesters that they create, you know?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
You
That's
wanna-
just my
you-
theory.
I'm just saying, you want to do something.
Hey,
feel
you
free.
can do whatever you want.
It's literally
But
it's a free country.
Oh yeah.
Do what you want.
But you know, like in the past, like there have been figures in certain moments where they have been you know what I mean?
Having gone to college and being a college age person, protesting stuff is just a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I understand
Did
that.
you tell all those people on the streets, like,
I never protested anything
listen
when I was
up.
in college. When I was in college, the most protesty thing that I did was
More Evangelion.
yes,
More
no,
Evangelion.
was that I believe I volunteered at a Kerry campaign office.
Oh, wow.
John Kerry. I mean, he's all right. He presidential, maybe not, but he was an okay.
Certainly not.
He was
Let's just certainly not.
He was an all right.
You were fighting the good fight.
He was an all right Secretary of State, but president,
Gave
maybe
Iran
not.
all that money. Anyway,
Well, Iran, they stopped nuking,
I guess.
so he gave him the money.
I guess.
Yeah,
I guess
give-
we're not loan sharks,
you
but
got- you
I
gotta
kind of
give-
want to. I had that loan shark instinct where I just like kick them
You're
more.
saying, oh, you're not going to have nukes? You don't get the money.
Get out of here.
Okay, fair enough. You're too
You
cutthroat.
can't have that money until you're. I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't understand all these things. Anyway,
That's
So
true.
we get to the crystal
Well, you haven't been to
balls.
India.
I tuned back. No,
So-
I haven't been to India.
so you don't
I
understand.
these things.
Yeah. All right, so I want to hear about the crystal bowls, and we got to end.
So then they take a bunch of pictures that are uncomfortable,
Yeah.
where the Obamas and the Trumps stand next to each other.
Yeah, they're all standing
We're
around.
standing next to steps. Now we're standing next to a flag. Now we're standing next to this. And they do all this, and then they split off, and Obamas get taken away in a badass helicopter. I mean, this thing has got two fucking
Hey, man.
propellers,
When
and
you're-
it's got like armor plating. You can see the rivets in the sides.
When you're
it's
president-
like rivet. It's just fucking power. It is power. You will not fuck with this helicopter. That's how awesome it was.
When you're president, that's his last presidential helicopter ride. Yeah, you get one more, and they're like, where to? And he's like, Michelle, where do you want to go?
Yeah.
And he puts the sunglasses on.
And they follow it with their cameras as far as they can.
Yeah.
And they lose sight of it.
I think that
because that's how awesome it is.
He actually tweeted out that he was like, time for a vacay. And I was like, yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Let's go hang out on the beach for a while.
And probably for about 100 days.
I do want to say this, though, is that it's interesting to look at like the Barack Obama pre-presidency and post-presidency and looking at like the way he looks, and it's like it's a thing that like Emperor Palpatine's you know what I mean? He just drains the life out of you. I don't know. Trump's not starting so high on the health scale. He's going to look real drained in 4 years.
Well, what do you think Hillary would have looked like?
Same. She's just as
I
old.
guess, yeah.
She's maybe 1 year younger, I think she was.
Yeah, he's not tottering and falling over yet, so...
No, I know, but neither... You know what I mean? Like the pre-presidency Hope Obama to the post-presidency I've got gray hair Obama.
Nobody's getting out of this thing looking like roses, that's for sure.
It's a tough job.
And, but no, then I tune back in because, like, Trump's, like, signing things with special pens. And they pull out like an oak case and they open up and there's like 7 pens missing. So I'm like, where are those pens?
Maybe each president has their own presidential pen. That's it. Straight up.
But so then you get to the end of the 10 and then you get a new case.
I don't know.
Like what?
There's a pageantry around this.
I know. That's what I'm trying to understand. And so he takes it and he's got like, this guy's still banging out kids. Like, I mean, he's got like a 5-year-old kid.
Yeah. I just want to say
65.
this.
He had a kid apparently.
You cast another. Like, oh fuck, what's the name of that fucking Omen? That kid could get right in. Dye his hair black. That kid's face is scary.
I haven't seen that.
Baron Trump is.
Baron?
His name is Baron.
Is he a Captain America villain?
I know, right? Barron. Baron Trump. Anyway, he does look. He's a 5-year-old. They always look weird. It's just funny though because he kind of looks scared. Like he always looks so disinterested as a 5-year-old would be.
Damien, like the Omen? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm saying. He looks kind of creepy. It's because they put him in all these fucking super fancy dress clothes. He looks like a fucking. Like,
that's true. A 5-year-old in a
Armani
tailored suit.
It's
fucking
like,
weird.
You look weird. You should be getting poop on yourself. You're 5. Mud pies. Anyway. No. But what was the crystal bowl, though?
Well, they sign these things, and then Pence talks some more, and you're like, okay, mute button. I swear to God, I will never listen to a word Pence says. I have to hit the mute button as soon as I see it.
He is America's granddad now. He's just...
I think it's like...
We've seen...
As much as I have to hear what Trump says, I can't hear anything Pence says.
You know what? I
can't fucking stand it.
Do you know what, though? I like what the Onion is doing with the Pence is that, you know, like they always have their like vice, you know, Joe Biden was Diamond Joe Biden. Do you see the last one? It was like, as inauguration is happening, Biden is furiously attempting to clean up vice presidential house. Like it was like he had a party, a rager the night before. I just like those. Or he's searching for lost pet snake frantically in the White House. Anyway, no, but I think what they're doing with Pence is like, Pence was disappointed. He's not mad. He's disappointed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's the guy he is. He's like, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Disappointed dad.
He's more threatening with those like beady eyes, though.
He does have beady eyes.
Fucking A. He's the reason, you know. And I was also thinking, in the middle of all this, because I know a lot of people have said that Melania, she posed nude.
Yeah.
And there was a moment. This was after Trump was sworn in.
Oh, wait.
I went,
wait a minute. So you're like, I gotta look up them pics?
But I was like, I can't.
Why not?
Because he's the president.
Does it matter?
He's in control of things now. I can't fucking look up his wife's...
You don't want the IP address showing up on
I can't do it. I was like, I can't do it.
You're going to be on the Melania News. You know what? People... Okay. I want to say this.
I'm not fucking around.
I do want to say this.
I looked up... I put up Melania model. Mm-hmm. I looked at it. And then I was like, I can't cross the line past
I want to say
this.
People that would like make fun of like, oh, this is our new first lady. It's like, all right, you know, fuck you. Seriously, you can't argue with someone for being a model. All right, she was a fucking nude model. Plenty of people are models.
She wasn't. She posed nude like a
couple times.
A couple times. She
Yeah.
wasn't a nude model.
Well,
she wasn't like Hustler. Come on.
She was a model, and she did a nude posing shoot. All right, whatever. Fine.
It happens.
I don't care. That's fine. Why would you be mad at someone?
But
for doing that?
I will.
That's shameful.
I can't look it up because I'm just like, you know what I mean.
Lance, let me get. I'm gonna get on the darknet for you. Print out some pics. You can see them. No, I'm sure you can go on like TMZ and just look up like
I
Melania,
just don't
and
want,
they'll have
you know, you just.
You were just looking at TMZ and the photo cam on your screen.
Look, if it ever comes to a point where I need to be cut slack, and I don't know, you know, it's just like it's a bad vibe. It's you don't look up nude pictures
They
of the
put those
president's
out, though.
wife.
There wasn't like this wasn't
Well,
like something.
what happens to those people after now?
No, I'm saying this was a photo shoot she did. Like
No,
professionally. This isn't like this was something that they displayed proudly.
Well, it has to be on paper for me to look at it then.
You're gonna you want to print it out to the bunker so you
I
can.
will not be involved in this. I will not be tied to it. And afterwards, after looking at it, I will set it on fire.
You got to set it on fire.
It will
That's
be
fair
thrown
enough.
into a fire.
There will be no evidence.
No.
No. All right,
I've
fair
seen
enough.
nothing.
Needs
And-
to. So you're the opposite of Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
You see nothing. Fair enough.
And the well, you got to get the crystal balls.
Yes.
Um,
We have tantalized our audience with this crystal bowls thing for like an hour. Let's get to
Okay,
it.
so they get into like another chamber,
Okay.
and now
That's the thing you realize, though. Like everything in the White House, these buildings are ancient. They're like fucking museums. There's like chambers and secret
That's
rooms.
what they are, yeah.
Yeah. There's a fucking bunker underneath it.
and then I'm like, what do they got in here? Like some more pens? Like what the fuck?
Another case of pens. Sure.
I know it's like, oh, so such and such president touched that pen. I mean,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on. Anyway, then this one guy gets to the podium. Another old white-haired.
Let me guess.
old
An
guy.
old white man.
Old white man.
Sounds like Washington D.C.
And here's a guy trying to explain with great like conviction these two fucking useless bowls.
Uh-huh.
They were like engraved by a French artist who he had been briefed on. And he was trying to act like he knew the guy. And he's just like, these two bowls engraved in the art style of Le Faux Laurent.
Uh-huh.
And they're not even bowls. I can't even figure out a fucking use for these things. They are giant rectangle plaques with big salad bowl type of things.
This is amazing. I got this right here.
You got it. You're
Yeah,
looking at this.
Okay, so they were saying these American people have gotten you these gifts. Trump and Pence each got a bowl, I guess.
Okay, that's what.
The 8th consecutive inaugural partnership. So that's 8 inaugurations that the company Lenox has made. The oldest maker of crystal and fine china in the U.S. has made gifts for the last 5 sets of U.S. presidents and vice presidents. And there are these ridiculously ornate engraved crystal bowls, one with the White House and one with the Capitol Hill for the vice president, because
Sure.
they oversee the Senate. And it's been going on since George H.W. Bush, I guess. So,
Okay.
they've just been making them,
They're-
you know?
Could you speak about the shape of them a little bit?
Well, I'm seeing George W.
I feel like I could
Bush's-
make monkey bread out of them. I don't know that they are.
Is that Pence? Donald Trump. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're like are they square? Like on the top, and then the bottom's a little round. They're fancy. What are you gonna do in that?
I'm pretty sure they're
Put
attached
candy
to
in
the
it?
base, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can do nothing.
It's basically a big trophy bowl. Yeah. So that was really,
I don't know. It was just something. I was just like, what is going? We got special pens. We got
crystal bowls.
Extra
Are we expecting them to
pictures,
bring
we
out like the fucking magical floating book or something next? Like, what is going on? What wizardry is next?
Can you imagine?
They do a secret handshake.
Next time around, whenever that is, like,
Yeah, 4 or 8 years.
4
no,
or 8 years.
no. It'll always be 4 years because they do a second inauguration.
oh right,
Yeah. Every 4 years there's one.
okay. But let's pretend like
What if
a
Trump-
changeover occurs,
Okay.
not just like a
Sure.
continuation.
Well, if Trump
but-
gets reelected, he's like, I'm not doing any of this fucking shit.
yeah, pretty much.
Don't give me another fucking poll. I don't got time for this. I had to go eat KFC
He
on my
probably
plane.
would use that opportunity to throw some other world leader under the bus for a long time.
Sure.
That would be, I don't know, but that would be my guess. Anyway,
Well, he hasn't done it yet, so
no, but
we'll
eventually he's going to browbeat somebody. It's going to be funny.
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah, and if you got like him, let's say he's in the Obama seat,
Sure.
transferring power over.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine. I guess you just got to sit there and take it.
Yeah.
If the fucking incumbent is just ripping you up in that speech.
I just don't think they do, though. I mean, like,
He did in that speech. I mean, I was just like, does this happen all the time? I had
don't.
to figure
It
this
really
out.
does. I mean, you watch the speeches.
He said, like, thank you, you're magnificent in the changeover. Now I'm going to talk about what I think.
"You've turned America into a dystopian novel," is what he said.
Ours highways are rotten garbage.
It is the road out there. Cormac McCarthy wrote The Road about the Obama years. Apparently, you're like, all right, still in campaign mode. I see, but it's over, man.
I think I picture him like live tweeting, like
I just
at
don't. Well, he's done. They took his phone away.
he can't do that.
I don't think so.
I thought the president has his own
Nah,
tweeter.
He does, but I think they took
Twitter.
Well, okay, so you know how his
he has
Twitter
to go
account works.
through like a person
No.
before.
So he has if it tweets from Android, that's his phone. From iPhone, it's the staffer who does the tweets.
Oh.
So he writes them himself, which is crazy that he does that. But I think there hasn't been an Android tweet in like 2 weeks now. I think they took his phone away.
Okay.
I think the GOP was like, "Hey, man, stop. You can say whatever you want in speeches, but you can't tweet out fucking insults to people anymore. You're not campaigning anymore. You get to
like the willy-nilly type of remark thing that he does.
I don't think that works anymore. When you're campaigning, you're just going crazy. That works, but I think whatever. All right, well, we're in for a fun 4 years. Hopefully, well. You know, you got to wish it's going to go well.
45th president.
You know what? Somebody I thought something really funny was they said Barack Obama should have resigned like an hour before the.
I read in the paper today someone thought Trump should resign.
No.
That was some guy from Middleton. It actually is in the paper today. I
Okay,
read
well,
that.
whatever. That's
Opinion column. Kind of
Well,
weird you print that.
whatever. They just print whatever they want. Anyway, no, but they said.
Can I work there?
Okay, would you calm down?
Sorry, I just it seems.
So they print. Well, you would nobody
Asking
would.
a president to resign. Shut up.
Well, no,
Any of you.
but they
Any
said.
of them.
But they said Barack Obama should resign like an hour before, so that for an hour Joe Biden could be president, and then Donald Trump would be the 46th president, and they'd have to reprint everything
Okay.
just to be a dick. That would have been amazing.
Except for the fact that
they wouldn't have reprinted shit though. They would have been like, that doesn't count.
that didn't fucking happen.
No, it would have been.
And Obama's and Biden don't get along, so
Yeah, they definitely don't get along. That's why he gave him the fucking Congressional Medal of Peace.
they had issues.
What issues, Lance?
They
What fucking conspiracy website are you reading? They were best friends. They constantly talk about how they were best friends and how he couldn't have gotten through 4 years without him.
I thought I read that they were thinking about kind of replacing Biden after the first term, but
Only because he said some stuff
Oh.
during the re-election campaign.
well, that's what I'm referencing. That's what I thought they had a
no,
problem.
absolutely not.
He thought about
He
it.
thought about it, yeah. It
Well,
just-
then it's not. They're not best friends.
yes, they are.
Well, they're best friends with the ups and downs.
That happens with every best friend.
Okay, but he thought about firing
Sometime
his
your
best
friend
Well,
calls you
why are
at
you acting like I'm a crazy person
8
when there's
o'clock at night.
when there's something where there's something there.
There's nothing there.
Well, he thought about kicking
There's
him out to the
nothing.
curb.
They did not
so
think about that at all.
I thought they did.
No.
I thought they didn't do it, but they thought about it.
Oh, they thought about it, so that's a big.
You just
thing.
said that. You just said that.
I have no clue what they did. It didn't happen.
Things got tense.
They did not. What are you talking about?
You just said that.
They did. Okay, I have no clue because I've never heard of this accusation.
They
I know
thought
that.
about, like,
I know that
I mean,
people
it's
have
not a
said-
big deal, and it's kind of like boring. But I thought that there was a moment in between the two terms where He was like, maybe I'm going to get another vice.
I don't think
Maybe
that
I'm sick of
happened.
this.
I think that people said maybe that's
It's
what
not
they're
a big
thinking.
deal anyway, because nobody voted for Obama because of Biden. Nobody cared about Biden.
Well, that was probably why they didn't do anything. He talks about how they're like best friends. Literally.
Okay.
He literally gave him the Congressional Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor, to Joe Biden. And then he
Okay.
cried and because he was like, "You're my best friend." They like had a best friend ceremony, like the biggest best friend ceremony you can have,
Okay.
Like-
when did that happen?
like a week ago.
Oh, well, that was after they already went through everything.
Yeah.
Well, in the
And they're
middle,
best
maybe there
friends.
was a bump in the road.
Well, it's like every good buddy comedy. There's a period where they both yell at each other, and Joe Biden drives
all I'm
off on
saying.
his Camaro for a month, and then he comes back and he's like, "I was wrong, Barry."
That's all I'm saying. That there was that.
But they're best friends now.
No, I don't disagree.
Oh man,
I just
guarantee-
threw that out there because that's what I had run across that before, that there were some issues, there was some tension. It got ironed out. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
sounds
just.
like it all worked out just fine.
It did clearly.
But
They have like a bromance. It's
I
like
wasn't
ridiculous.
sure because I didn't know about the congressional hug that they shared.
I would like this to be on
If I had
record of
known
how much
about
of a
that,
friend
I would have said.
Oh, no.
I would have framed my whole sentence as more of kind of like a buddy cop film instead of something else.
So you're saying that
it wasn't.
are you saying that Biden said he was too old for this shit, and then Barry was like, "No, man, I got your back." No, man, yeah, I give him the Congressional Medal of Freedom.
Okay, well, I mean, we're mixing 8 years into a couple paragraphs. I mean, sometimes the things get a little
Yeah.
difficult to. Details are missed.
Or the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I don't
What's
even
that
know.
look like, by the way?
It's like the Medal of Honor for the military, but it's the civilian version, I guess.
All right.
It was given to a lot of people. Who else? Tony Blair got one. Pfft, this
Boo.
ain't worth nothing. George W. Bush is just giving them out.
Oh, red-nosed Tony Blair.
Oh shit. No, Stephen Hawking got one.
Hugh Blair's still in there, right? He's still the guy.
Who? Yeah. He's
What
still
they-
in there?
Would they just give up?
No, he's fine.
Is he?
Whatever he had, I guess, didn't kill him.
Oh, I guess.
God, Joe Biden, that smile. He could win anyone over with that smile. Diamond Joe
You
Biden.
charmer, you.
He's a charmer. All right. Well, let's end it. Thanks for listening, everyone. The website's borninthe80s.net. The Lantz is done.
It's over.
For another Saturday Night Bite.
Sad.
Till the next time. Sad! Exclamation point. That's going to be... You're not going to see those anymore. That's sad! Exclamation point. No, we'll see. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Did he say it? Anyway.
I
It's over.
I would like to imagine that he says that out loud like that. Sad!
It's like I did it.
Yes. You go with the Stanley Tucci.